Hello. Welcome in to Adventures in Aanthara, session 28. For us, it has been many a day, 2 weeks technically, plus 1 day because we're doing this on a Saturday, even though we usually do it on Friday. Not important. Welcome in. Quick summary of where the party is at and what they have done in recent days. After resolving the ongoing struggle against the Blightlings and their apparent source in a hag deep in the wetlands, Raygrove wetlands, the party has slowly meandered their way back through city by city into closer to the heart of civilization, and most recently left the town of Sawfeld to head back to the town of Proward, where our tale began. And on the first night of travel, we're waylaid by an old friend slash employee, apparently, in Clert the Goblin, who, at the behest of Yasnip, had located a fort slash camp of bandits that the party had been asked to potentially deal with by Mayor Maddock from Proward. And so they snuck their way into a recon position, sent in some reconnaissance animals, and crafted a beast of a plan to deal with these bandits, which they then executed to resounding success, absolutely annihilating every bandit, of which there were many, except for one, and securing now this small fort slash large camp. And so, where we pick up, Faye has the one last living bandit literally at knife point. And the rest of the group has just finished off a few stragglers up in the main part of the camp. There are also a number of horses around who the bandits were trying to use to escape and now are riderless. And that is where we left off. So, what would you all like to do? Brightwing is already raising her hand.
Well, I just for camera perspective, I would say
Oh, true.
if this is like a TV show sort of thing. You just did the recap, and now I think the recap ended with Edwin pulling out the sword and the guy that deserved it and fell.
True.
But now that is the same camera angle, but a different angle with that. Not seeing Edwin pull it out, but just the body fall, and then it refocuses on Brightwing across the way, kind of having this set in of what just happened.
Yeah, there are a lot of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Brightwing is all the way at the edge of the camp.
Could you, because we're gonna look through this place probably, would you mind putting the map back up?
I can do that. Yep.
Oh yeah, that'd be really great.
Are we within 1 mile of our cart?
It would be, yeah.
I think it was an hour walk or something.
You are probably you're probably a little beyond that, but not super far. Maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles. You were walking stealthily, so.
Gotcha. Well then, that was a resounding success.
I'll come around the corner with the guy with the knife.
Oh, shit.
I'd say so.
Hello there, pal.
You see a wet spot in his pants, and he's
That's right.
rather trembly.
Amazing. How's it going there?
Knock him to his knees in front of Eclipse and Edwin.
Okay.
I put the spear away and just cracked my knuckles.
Oh gosh. Okay. He, down on his knees, looks up. Adrian, you said you walked up to him?
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything, but is looking at you with a pretty clear face of, please don't kill me, holy shit, oh shit, holy fuck, these guys are insane.
So, have we learned our lesson?
He glances around at half a dozen dead bodies within 5 to 10 feet of him. Just nods. Mouth closed.
Yeah, good. See, there are some reasonable people still in the world. Hope and humanity restored. So here's what's going to happen, alright? You're not out of the woods yet, literally. We're going to put you on a horse. We're going to take you back to Proward. And you're going to tell them everything that they want to know about what you all did. And you're going to help them get all their stuff back. In return, you get to keep your legs. Sounds pretty reasonable, right?
Roll an intimidation check.
Yeah.
I will say with advantage based on what Faye has already done to him.
Jesus.
That's
Note
the
the
button.
arms were not part of the negotiation. We're still debating on those.
Correct.
No need
Not
arms for
high,
arms.
but it's
Yeah.
still a 15.
Okay. He nods and doesn't re-meet your gaze. Keeps his eyes down.
Do I get that this is a sense of compliance, or that he's gonna try and pull some bullshit?
Roll an insight check.
Lovely.
Yeah, I also do the same.
You may do the same. I assume, Faye, you've kind of brought him up to the middle of the group.
Yeah, I would have. I'm sorry, I didn't move myself. Or I would have brought him like I'd be here, and I would have kind of like kicked the back of his knee to knock him down in front of those two as we all tower over him.
Okay.
I got a 15 on insight. It's just the number of the night, apparently.
True.
I got a natural 20 for a 24.
Oh! Wow. Both of you get a sense that the entirety of his current mood, behavior, compliance, anything is based in very, very heavily in fear for his life. Whether or not that would carry forward once that fear or threat is lifted, you can't necessarily get a sense of that, and it doesn't necessarily seem with a 15 and a 24.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a like a strong, resounding, I will change all my ways and have abandoned now this bad life and will want to be a happy citizen of Proward by any means. What you primarily get is deep, deep fear for his life and compliance that is based in protecting that right now.
Also, if it means anything, I have manacles for some reason. Don't know why I have those, but I have them.
Shit. Yeah, why not? Let's just go for it.
Okay, I'll hand them to you.
I'm gonna manacle
Okay.
him up.
I
Have
think
you,
it's
have you
possible.
got a key for the manacles?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jess. I could be wrong, but is it?
Mm,
It might be that you were sent with those to potentially capture a blightling with
that
from the
makes
very
more
beginning.
sense.
Yeah, I don't think you've
Bag
picked up
was
any
much
manacles
better.
along the way.
Yeah.
So yes, you would have a key.
But yeah.
You guys want to manacle him up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
He does not resist. Mostly keeps his eyes downwards.
Let's put him. We'll
Glances
put him
briefly at a new person each time they come up.
against like the stairs or something, and we'll put the one end of the chain through the other stairs so he's not going to run out of here, and
Sure.
and attach them that way.
Yep,
For the moment, yeah.
All
that
right.
works.
So, let's sort of evaluate where we are right now. There's no immediate threat. We have identified the location of the goods of Proward and possibly beyond. Is there anything else we need to do here?
Yasnip mentioned when he was listening in to the couple upstairs, the captain perhaps, and mention that they were speaking of the mob?
Do you
No, I
want to check the office, or do you want to leave that to the actual officials to deal with? Because
Well, I had a thought. So, what if I'm gonna rummage around upstairs a bit and see if I can find anything in her writing. If we could clear this place out, help the citizens of Prowwood clear this place out in whatever way we could, but make it look like someone left quickly. And I will copy her handwriting and plant a letter somewhere in suspicious, but like half hidden, that makes it look like we're running. Fuck these people. It's not worth it anymore. Let's just take what we can and run right now. And it will draw suspicion away from not only us but the citizens as well, and perhaps draw fire away from them and retribution away from them.
Rather than us having come through here and destroyed the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Because-
not a terrible idea, yeah. They can
So,
look like cowards.
yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, with that being
Yeah.
the case, we've got to move pretty fucking quick, because they were talking about heading out pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
So,
Brightwing, are you here?
Brightwing is not here.
Is she within
Well-
view, or is she just not close to the group?
While all of that was going down and a little bit before, Brightwing had kind of like taken one step back, another step back, and starting to breathe heavy and just hear her own heartbeat in her head, and she started just to make her way just to a thing that she's saying that was just a little deeper into the forest.
Okay.
And she just kind of ran a little bit in and fell to her knees, and she just had a little bit of a panic attack.
Okay.
With the realization of what has transpired.
Did you try to do that stealthily?
I don't think so. I think it was more like on motor pilot, like fight or flight sort of thing.
Okay. Faye,
And that.
you would have been the only one looking that direction because everyone else was looking towards you as you brought the guy up. If you want to roll a perception check, you can. Your choice.
Fine. I was actively looking to see if she was around, so I think that tracks. New dice.
Mm.
14.
Okay. I would say that you knew where she was prior to the fight, and she's very colorful. You would have seen her, even just from your periphery while this was going down and the conversation was happening, just kind of fade off, yeah. Not sure exactly where, but...
She might have gone back to get the dogs?
Oh yeah, they're still out there.
oh, yeah, forgot about the dogs.
I'll go.
Someone should go with her, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll go look for her.
Do you want to follow the route towards where you left the dogs? Or
yeah,
do you want
I think
to...
I'll head back that way, but just keep an eye out for her on the way.
Okay. And Brightwing, did you go off to the side, or did you go back that
she went
way?
off to the side
Okay.
that way, so not in the direction of the dogs, and a little
Okay.
deeper into the forest. To
Okay.
the side.
So I'll have missed her entirely then.
Yes, unless you want to try to track her in some way, but if you just want to work off the assumption she might have gone back to the dogs and head that way, you will miss her. Obviously, you don't know this before making the choice, but
Yeah, I'll go off the assumption she went towards the dogs, because
Okay.
that's
While this is happening, probably getting Yasnip, Faye, and myself to go ahead and start taking care of that plan of cleaning everything up
yeah.
and getting things
Yeah.
set up while Eclipse is off doing that.
Yeah, we could pull
Yeah.
one of the carts around and start putting
Yeah.
Some
remains
stuff in there.
into the carts, into an empty cart.
Okay.
Gosnip would actually be clearing the rest of the tents,
Perfect.
okay. Of
making sure
looking
there's no
for
more
more
people,
bandits. Sure.
anything like that.
Okay.
After I throw this fucking heavy crossbow onto the ground. Because it's worthless.
Fair. Okay. Aedwin loading bodies, and Faye, you said you were doing what?
I'm not super spindly. I could help.
Okay.
I would go through pockets first
Okay.
as we load them up,
Alright.
make sure there's nothing that would have been from what these, like, nothing in their pockets that would have been taken from somebody, like any personal effects, and
No
getting
family
any money.
heirlooms.
Huh?
No family heirlooms, nothing.
Right.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Yosnip. Yours is fairly straightforward. You make your way through the rest of the tents, see no other bandits. It seems that whatever extras you had not seen initially came out to join the fight and were ended, except for this one guy. So you've cleared that out in a matter of a few minutes. Faye, going through the pockets of dead bandits, you rack up... well, okay, the ones that are here, because there are some others back where Eclipse is going.
I have the totals of those ones. We already looted them.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Here you find, on the rest of the guys here, another total of 37 gold, 56 silver. And a variety, like maybe half a dozen, small trinket type things, like a little necklace with a small gem on it. Not like lockets with pictures of people necessarily, but things that it seems were much more likely lifted off of a traveler than this person and carries them around in their bandity ways.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you get just searching bodies. Aid, when you start getting bodies onto carts, you two sort of working in tandem to make sure each is cleared before going on a cart. That takes you guys a few minutes. Eclipse, in that time, you make it to the site of the initial battle.
Mm.
Dogs are still there.
Okay.
They roll a
Oh boy.
roll an animal handling check just for fun.
We sent the cat to get the dogs.
Oh my god, imagine. It's a 14 total, so it's not that bad.
Okay. When you come up, they both stand up. They had been lying.
I look as non-threatening as possible.
Which is
really
still
hard.
pretty threatening. Yep.
Oh, it's really hard.
They give some initial like chuffly barks,
Mhm.
but don't seem ravenously pissed at you by any means.
Yeah.
But are wondering who you are, what you're doing here, what's happening with them, and are a little on edge, possibly. You do not see Brightwing.
Okay.
Brightwing.
Real quick,
Go
I'll
ahead,
say
yeah.
that I'm just gonna cut them free and see what they do. Like, just for the dogs. Because we tied them up. I'm not gonna
Okay.
keep them there.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I will carry over your 14.
Okay.
They spend the first 30 seconds heavily evaluating you.
Mm-hmm.
Sniffing,
Yep.
shuffling a bit, moving away, moving back,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get a sense of whether you're a friend, a foe, a problem. Eventually, they seem to be okay with you, not necessarily friendly, but
Mm-hmm.
they've determined for themselves you're not going to try to kill them and they don't have to kill you. And one of them goes over, sniffs over to the bodies that are left,
Mm-hmm.
finds the one that you had seen bring him in, sniffs that guy, comes back, seems to have acknowledged that the person who was handling him is dead. And they both just kind of seem at a loss for what to do exactly. They don't go running off. They're not like sitting at your feet necessarily. They're just kind of, what's going on here?
Okay, so I'll leave them because now they're not tethered to anything. So if they are free to do what they wish now. So I'm gonna walk away from them.
Okay.
Probably leave them some jerky as well.
Okay.
We have so much.
And where do you go?
I'm gonna head back to the camp.
Okay. You're not gonna look elsewhere for Brightwing. You're gonna head straight back to the camp.
I'll keep an eye out for her on the way back. But
Okay.
yeah.
What's your passive perception?
Let's say 14.
Okay. You get a good 50, 60 feet down the, I won't say path because there's not one, but the route back before you hear padding feet and moving in the bushes. And you turn back, they are both following from a distance.
Okay.
You get the sense, and would have seen like domesticated animals tons of times where you grew up, that having been domesticated and trained and chained for a long time, they don't really know what to do without that situation.
Yeah.
And so they're following back at a distance. Yes.
Okay. So I'll just passively drop jerky.
Okay.
So I'm going along.
Amazing.
Like every 30 feet or something, I guess, just to
That's
make
the
sure they
best.
finished it off. Just move on
Okay.
to the next one.
Okay. I would say about after a minute or two of that,
Mhm.
you hear the padding grow louder, and they both come up and catch up to where you are, and they
Okay.
start like sniffing at your pocket and
Okay.
seem to now understand that at the very least you bring treats, so
Okay,
maybe
cool.
you're trustworthy to some degree.
Cool.
So they're caught
Alright.
up to you
That's how
now.
you train. That's how
Radical.
you do it. You gotta food motivated.
Brightwing, how far off
Alrighty.
that route did you go? Or how far off to the side into the forest?
I don't think super deep. But just like I mean I don't know to roll for it, but just enough that she just full on dropped to her knees and like dropped her staff and just kind of like full on like heaved and hoed and trying to weed out this panic that she's
Okay.
feeling.
Okay. About, I don't know how long necessarily Brightwing would stay in this state, but maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, you hear a snap of a twig and a rustle in the bushes, like maybe 10 or 15 feet in front of you.
I thought she would get on alert and stay a little still and open
Okay.
and listen.
You listen for a second, and you look over that direction. You see two big, bulbous eyes in a bush looking at you.
Kurt.
Seems like he curses to himself. Steps out of the bush, kind of slowly looks at you. He is splattered in gore. Just a bloody wreck. Some of it might be his own, some of it might be the guy he was annihilating on the road. You're not sure. He steps out.
I think initially seeing him kind of puts her back in that state, and she backs up just a second and are you okay?
Klurt was hit by very painful arrow. But then some magic, and Klurt feels good now. Not sure. Is bird girl okay?
Don't know if I am honest.
Klurt does not know medicine or healing.
Hey, this doesn't really need medicine, I'm afraid. Do you need help washing that off?
He looks down and seems to now notice for the first time that he's covered in blood. No, I think Klurt will keep. Perhaps we'll make him more respected in tribe.
And I will say, Klurt, it will attract animals to you.
Klurt might kill animals? He brandishes his... What was he given by Yasnip? A hand axe or a dagger?
I gave him the dagger that I had found.
The rusty dagger.
Goblins, yeah.
Yeah. He brandishes his rusty dagger, which is whatever parts of it weren't red from rust are now red with blood.
Klurt,
Eh.
I believe in your strength, but it is draining to know when we are... I do not want you to get hurt by a bear or a wolf pack.
His already large eyes get much larger, perhaps indicating when you said animal, he thought a fox or something that he could deal with, and now when you're suggesting the things like bears and packs of wolves might be coming for him, it's not sounding so good for him. Yes, cleaning. Okay, let's... Yes.
And she'll take out her water skin and a rag and just start wiping his face and his hands and stuff and getting as much gore off as she can.
Did we win?
Yes. But, I don't know if I feel victorious in that.
He cocks his head. With your passive insight, you can tell he has absolutely no clue what you mean. That makes no sense to him.
I know that is confusing to say.
You win, but you lose.
For me, at least, I do not speak for the others. I am so sorry, Klurt.
Why?
You almost got very hurt.
Yes, but we won. And Klurt helped.
You did, but I don't think it was right for us to use you in that way. I don't think you fully understood the danger you were in.
He cocks his head the other way. Still clearly not fully understanding. Does Klurt get reward? Is Klurt in group?
I think that might be a group decision, but and she pulls out her own money bag and hands him over, I would say, like 10 gold. She doesn't use money.
That's true. Okay. He takes it. What does Klurt do with this?
Don't know, to be honest. You buy things with it
Where?
from shops. I am still getting used to it.
Shops in the towns.
Yes. Would you like a different reward? I have this, and she'll take out the dagger and open up her little pocket space and give him the little dragon wooden.
The little statuette.
Yeah.
He tries to hold all the 10 coins in his one small hand, fails. They fall on the ground so that he can take the other one. Half the coins are on the ground now. He seems more interested in the dragon than the money. Oh. What is this creature?
It is called a dragon. It was an ancient beast from long ago and was very feared and very respected.
Like Klurt! Maybe Klurt is dragon.
You alright? You can keep it if you'd like.
Okay. He puts it into a piece of his clothing that you don't really think is a full-blown pocket, and you're not sure how well it will stay there. He doesn't have a money pouch or anything like that. Tries to pick up the coins again. I don't know if Klurt can use this. Town does not like Klurt. But maybe they will like it if Klurt has this. What is it called?
Has anyone ever told Brighton what it's called? It's just money.
Yeah. It's
Money.
There's different kinds, but this is the one that people value most.
Is it for wearing?
It's worth more.
Okay. Where is rest of group?
I am assuming back at the fort. I should go back. When she kind of starts to breathe a bit heavy again, she realizes she has to go back and see it again. You are welcome to come or go if you feel rewarded for your effort.
Klurt will come and see if Klurt is in the group, and if Hornman has new mission. Because Klurt will finish this one now. Why? I don't understand why Bird Girl is sad.
Because Bird Girl, she is healer, not, I don't take life unless I have to, and I did that today, and I don't feel like I had to.
People with bandanas were not. They were hunters?
They were bad.
Bad hunters.
Bad people.
Bad people.
What makes me different now?
again, deep confusion at the moral quandaries being placed before him. He has no clue what this means. But seems like genuinely interested and curious about it because it's so odd. Just has no insight on it at all.
We should go back then. She gets on her feet. She's a bit unsteady, as they are pretty loose in that regard, and picks up her staff and holds out her hand for Clerk to grab, if Clerk would like to grab it.
Interesting. He looks down at the dagger on the ground, which he had to put down because all his hands were being filled with rewards. Tries to carry the golden over in one arm, picks up the dagger, looks at it kind of sadly, and then holds it up to your hand.
No, I was just offering to hold your hand as we walk back. You can keep your dagger. I might have an extra pouch if you'd like something to help carry.
He looks down at all his stuff falling out of himself. That might help, Klurt.
I have just a small letter that she had some herbs in, and just puts it aside.
Okay. He takes a good 15 seconds bumbling with all the stuff you've given him to put it inside this pouch. Coins fall on the ground, picks them back up, puts them in. Goes back to holding his dagger. Does not seem to understand the outstretched hand situation.
She'll preemptively try to grab it, and if he pulls away, she'll not, but...
Okay. He does not. He just stares at it, and then up at you when you hold it, and then stares back at it. Tries to, shake. To the group!
And we'll walk back.
Okay. With the amount of time that took, I would say that Eclipse and you're coming back a little slowly, having dropped things off and on and dealt with these dogs who are now encircling your legs, you would meet back on the route with Brightwing around a similar time. So another about 50 to 100 feet outside the fort. You see her coming out of some trees to the side, holding Clert's hand, who is... Did you clean him off, did you say, Brightwing?
Yeah, I tried to the best of my ability.
He looks covered in blood with a few small streaks where it seems to be washed away a little bit, but still pretty covered.
Does he look like he's been... We healed him, right?
I
Yeah.
gave him a
Slap.
little ASMR high five.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I'll just... And then give a little head pat to the dog next to me.
Okay.
It'll let me.
Brightwing, roll an animal handling check, and Clert, roll an animal handling check.
I gotta do that roll 20.
Dude, if Clert starts to piss off the dogs, I'm gonna just...
Guys, I think we got trouble on our hands with this.
If there is a problem, I'll just pick up Clert and hold him over my head. I can't reach him.
Okay, I gotta do it in D&D Beyond because I don't have my dice.
Oh, okay.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond animal handling. Go! Oh! Oh, it was a 7. I rolled a 12. I thought it was a natural 1.
God, I hate those.
You have a 12 total?
Okay. Brian, you can't do that. That's not fair.
Oh.
Rude.
Almost the second that they step out from behind a bush, Eclipse, both dogs, hackles go up,
Okay. He's like, hey, it's okay.
Growl
I
towards.
give them both jerky.
Zero.
Mm.
Oh
Friend.
boy, this is interesting. Is this a contested animal handling check?
Probably. Is there
roll an-
enough rope for me to hold on to them? Because I didn't like cut it at the collar. I'm guessing I would have cut it closer to the tree.
I
Just to
mean,
give
it's
them
largely
some safe
up.
distance.
It's largely up to you what you did.
Okay.
I
I would have bet it would have been closer to the tree, just because I would have wanted to give them their space in case they did want to bolt, so that way they're
So they
not
kind of
getting
have
all up in their
little
business. Yeah.
leash situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just haven't done
They.
anything with it.
Clerk rolled a natural 2 for a 1. They are moving forward with
Very
stalking
angry.
intent towards him.
Okay.
Fur raised,
Yeah.
tails low. If you want to try to grab at their leashes, you can do that.
I think I'll try to and see what the general vibe is when I do.
Okay. It's pretty easy for you to do, given your athleticism.
It's not going to be like
Uh,
a yank. It's just going to be a hold so that they can't go past that point. And then
They
just...
both stop for a second to look back at you,
Mm,
but are still sort of pulling towards Clert.
okay.
Clert, seeing this, jumps a little bit behind Brightwing, brandishes his dagger and his teeth.
No. Put all that away. We're good.
They don't look good.
It's because you don't.
He looks down at his bloody, horrific self. Cat lady makes fair point. Will you not let dogs eat, Clert?
I won't. I'm holding them. And I kind of like shrug with the leash in my hand.
Okay. You like give them a tug?
Just a little
Or you
bit.
just
not
show
like
that
a-
you have it?
I just
Okay.
show that I have it with a little bit of a tug, just to be like, nope. Come
They
on.
both look back at you again.
Uh-uh.
They're not pulling as hard towards Clert now, but
Yeah.
they still seem
Yeah.
intent
Understandable.
on eating him if he dares come within their eating distance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, dogs are fine. They somehow want to hang out with me now. So I'm gonna go first and get them away from him. Why are you?
Right wing. Just
Oh.
nods.
Okay.
Clert stays standing behind Brightwing, holding the dagger as he watches Eclipse and the dogs
Okay.
pass
I'm
by.
I'm gonna head back to the camp.
Okay. Once you get a decent amount ahead where they would have to be like pulling and turning back
Mhm.
to aggressively eyeball Clert,
Yeah.
they get the sense that you don't want them doing that and
Mhm.
want them moving forward, and they kind of fall back in line.
Okay. I'll just loosely like keep a hold on it, just so that if he does come back in sight and they want,
Hmm.
they're not gonna immediately do that.
Okay. And then Brightwing, do you follow?
Yes. But she kind of just gets to the edge of camp and just stays there. And if Clerk wants to let go, she'll let go and let him find the Horde man. He so
Okay.
wishes, but she'll probably just stay at the edge.
Okay. I would say once you get to the middle and he sees all the hustle and bustle, he does let go of you and goes to see what has happened and be involved. I will say the carts that Eowyn is loading bodies into is pretty close to are at the front area near the entrance where you had left from and are coming back to. So standing at the edge up there is basically standing within 20 or 30 feet of those carts and Eowyn walking up with the body, loading it, walking away.
I think she probably just stare.
Okay. Adrian, you probably see that.
Oh, there you are. These guys really should have worked on the weight.
Getting fat on everybody else's progress.
I'll pop out from behind one of the tents and say, "Oh, Brightwing, there you are. Did you find the dogs?"
You see Eclipse as you pop out and say that, who has the
Yeah.
dogs on a leash.
Yeah, okay.
They don't
Hey.
like Clert.
I commiserate.
He doesn't understand that word, so
No.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a time. They don't know what to do. I cut them loose, and they came with me. So
Oh my god.
we have a problem.
Alright, no.
We're not the
listen.
menagerie.
No. She doesn't look like she
Look.
wants to keep them either.
We're just gonna take them back to Proward.
Okay,
We're gonna give them to the town and
Yep.
let them do whatever they want with them.
they're very good guard dogs. I think
Perfect.
the guards would like them. They just need food.
No.
And they listen really well.
They
Give
both
another
look
one a
up
piece
at
of
you when you say food.
Give them jerky.
Yep.
Okay, right. Well,
Hey,
I just got the
Brightwing.
last one loaded up, so
But Brightwing?
I can't cast sending anymore today. Do you have that today?
She's still staring at the pile of bodies as you're trying to get her attention.
Mhm.
Could I? I mean, my passive insight's a 14 and I'm doing stuff. Do I pick up on this?
Where are you trying to talk to her from?
Well, I would imagine that I would have been like in this area over kind of here if Eowyn was over here and I would have seen them walk up from like
Okay.
here-ish, you know? So probably
Yeah.
I don't know, 20, 30 feet away.
Yeah, given how close you are, the lack of response and the staring, you don't necessarily know what it means, but she appears to be heavily distracted. And it's odd.
I'm gonna go over to Faye and just
Okay.
lean over. She wasn't near the dogs. She wasn't over there at all. I saw her on the way back.
Um,
And
you wanna-
she didn't do anything with these guys, and I put down to them.
yeah.
Give them more jerky.
I'll like slowly back up to avoid the drool. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
a lot.
It's a,
Yep.
it's a lot. Yeah.
So much drool.
Uh-huh.
It's a ton.
black pants. Mm-mm.
Nope. Struggling.
Brightwing, do you want to go check out that building with me? And I'll point up towards the raised building that's enclosed.
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you want to step inside and get away from all the mess for a bit?
Oh, sure. And she'll take just one more second, and then she'll follow you.
And I'll start kind of like chatting in an attempt to distract you and fill you in on what we had talked about. It's like, so we decided that because the mob was involved, we're gonna, plant this fake letter and we're gonna clean all this up and call the people, and on and on and on and kind of fill her in. And you probably insight this enough to know that I'm trying to distract you. But it's like, yeah.
I would say her insight's probably down, and she's still distracted in what
Okay.
you're saying.
You are also a very persuasive, deceptive, and good accuracy sort of person, so if you guys want to roll, you certainly can. If not, it's up to you to how much you gather.
What am I rolling?
I would say a persuasion or deception check. Your choice. It's not entirely too different between the two.
That was awful. It was a 15.
I was gonna wait for it's awful. It's a 47.
Leah, if you want to intentionally lower Brightwing's passive insight based on the situation to well below that, it's totally your call on role plays. Don't need to play the numbers if you don't want to.
I don't think she's trying to do anything. She's pretty in her own head at the moment.
Okay.
I think it's more of Faye being uncomfortable with people being uncomfortable.
Yep.
And trying to
she
distract
seems very uncomfortable.
And deflect and distract. And also get you away from the cause of the stress, physically away from the stress, but still in supervision in case anything happens.
But I mean, I think as you're explaining, she's probably just maybe like absently nodding along, but definitely not to whatever you're saying. Just following you.
Okay, so I'll kind of. Are you gonna follow? You're gonna follow me inside.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the room upstairs with there's like a couple of chairs and like some stuff around, right?
You're talking about this big building that's not a tent?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is the structure.
Yep, that's correct. And for what it's worth, the living guy is shackled to the base of the stairs, of these stairs.
But he's alive, so it's fine.
He
That's
is
not
alive.
a trigger, right?
I don't know. That's where he is.
This has walls. I'll get you upstairs. If you'll let me, I'll lead you over to one of the chairs. And I'll sit down in one of the other ones. And I'll pull out a small flask and take a quick sip and set it in front of you. And just wait.
I'm sorry, What are we doing?
We're giving you space to process what just happened.
Oh. I appreciate that. But
I can go.
afraid this might not be the proper space. And she kind of looks around and just sees, like, you know, there's somebody's old cup or like someone's old cigar that they had, and like just kind of imagining that this is where they were. Did you need me for something?
I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
I don't know.
Do you need time by yourself?
I do not know. I know we are supposed to feel victorious in this very successful mission, but I do not.
I feel good because I feel like the people of this area are safe. The children that we just saved are safe. Their families, their assets, their livelihoods are safe.
And that is why I say this is a victory. But she just kind of goes quiet in that.
Well, I'm gonna do some. I do have things to do in here. If you want to go, go. If you want to stay, stay. I just figured you didn't want to see a cart full of... Yeah, and I'll kind of start looking. I mean, I am actively seeking, like, a handwriting sample from somebody.
Okay. Somebody specific or just a handwriting sample?
Ideally, the captain. If I can't identify who it's from, then it could be from someone else addressed to her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for some kind of writing.
Okay. Roll an investigation check. Edwin, what is
That's
your
me.
passive investigation?
Oh, my sweet summer child. That would be a 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I will say, I will ask, did you do any inspecting of the bodies during this process, or did you let Clip or Faye handle that and you were just lugging sacks as far as you knew?
I think Faye already handled that.
Yeah,
Like, gave them all a pretty clean pat down. So
I'm not asking from a...
would have just...
I'm not asking from an acquiring loot standpoint. I'm just asking from an Eowyn standpoint.
Yeah,
Is he just throwing in sacks of potatoes as far as he's concerned, or is he at all...
Yeah, with Faye having already explicitly gone through and patted these guys down for anything, he would have just been tossing them on the cart.
Okay.
I got a 24.
24.
I have expertise.
Okay. And you're primarily checking around this building, at least initially?
If it seems like this was her residence, like I kind of figured that she was the captain, she got the nicest digs.
It seems like this is a headquarters-y planning sort of area.
Okay.
Not necessarily where she lives or slept. It seemed like that might have been out in a tent somewhere. You begin investigating, though, and you find... And initially, you don't find much that strikes your attention. It's nicks and knacks of a general hangout / like headquarters spot. But as you start checking a little more unique spots, places where they may have hid stuff that's important, you find under the table a small little compartment that slides. You slide it open, and you find a key in there. Really basic looking key. And note that, pocket it, keep going with your search. And with a 24, as you're walking around, you hear initially an odd incongruence in where you're stepping, and then you look down, and one of the planks in the floor seems kind of off, and you reach down, shift it a little bit, it moves. It seems to move.
Is it gonna shoot something at me? Is it trapped in any way? Like...
Roll an investigation check specifically for that, if you'd like.
22.
It does not appear to be trapped in any way.
Pull a knife out and like pop under the board and lift it up.
Okay.
Or does it just like by itself? Is it nailed down?
You do kind of need to pop up a little bit. There's not like a grabbing point, but you get under a seam, pop it up, and it comes off pretty easily. And then underneath there's a couple more boards that are set as if to cover, and you're able to move those. and you see a chest inside. Decent sized. Yeah.
Too heavy for me to pick it up.
No.
Well, pull it out.
Okay.
Kind of look like grab one end and like pull it out and probably follow my ass a little bit as I do it.
Okay.
Look over at Brightwing and
I'm sorry.
I found
she
a
found
chest on the floor.
under a secret stash board and has pulled it out and given you a thumbs up.
Neither of us are very strong, but you think we can get it outside together?
Nope. We could try.
Just pick up one end and together, maybe like slide it across the floor a little bit. Just it's not. I'm not worried about like the weight of it. It's just like walking like this is not comfortable. So I'd rather get it outside and open it with the whole group there.
Okay.
Maybe slide it down the stairs like a.
Mm-hmm.
Like a laundry basket.
Yeah. As we come out, I'll just holler out like, "I found something!"
Was that for everybody?
That was the intention. I was trying not to blow out your eardrums.
Don't know if I'll hear it from the building, but I can.
Oh, like once we're outside at
Everyone
the
in-
bottom of the stairs.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got it. Yeah,
everyone
then
in
I'll head over.
in the fort can hear.
Yeah, I'll follow behind as well. Box.
Key.
Oh, shit.
Fantastic.
Not gonna explode.
Well,
I just dropped it down the stairs. I feel like we're probably safe.
It thunks down next to the guy who's manacled there, and he looks at it, and his eyebrows raise a little bit.
Any idea what's inside? I'll just look at him.
I don't know exactly what is the captain's. We never saw in it.
What's the captain's name, by the way?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Nadia.
I think that key opens it.
Are you asking him that?
No,
Or
I'm
Faye
asking
that?
Faye that.
Okay.
Oh, I imagined as that happened, as that was going on, I was like, kind of like,
Okay.
I like looking around to see if anyone had any objections, and if no one
Maybe they
stops
will.
me, then I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
open it.
Okay. You pop it open and find a couple sacks of what appear to be coins. A separate sack that appears to be filled with some small objects, you're not sure what. And a rolled up bit of parchment and an ink well and quill.
Can I take the bag of random objects? We don't know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna open it up.
You see about a dozen or so rings, varying materials, gold, silver, a couple platinum, And I would say there's enough general knowledge about these sorts of things. They seem like largely marriage rings.
I'll close it back up.
Okay.
It's nothing gruesome, it's just heirlooms.
What's
That
on the
need to be
parchment?
returned to-
Yeah.
You unroll it.
As she's doing that, I probably would have grabbed the parchment, just because that's what I was looking.
Okay. It is blank and looks to have been torn at the edge. One edge.
Does it look familiar?
I mean, it looks like a roll of parchment. There's not much about it that stands out necessarily. There's like a little bit of slight filigree to the corners, to the two corners that haven't been ripped off.
Do I see this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Can I pull out my paper and compare the two? See if they look...
It does look very similar. As someone who's used it many, many times, you notice a little bit more of the similarity than Faye would.
So, I remember the guy with the cart, he gave us one of those and said that it was tied to somebody. Do I know that these have to be tied to somebody, or is it just whoever I'm thinking of is who it sends it to?
What you understand is that if you don't intend it towards someone, it will go to a match.
Okay.
So if you were to just write it and not address it to anyone, it would go to its match, which you don't know.
Okay.
But if you want to write a letter to anybody and send it, you can address it that way and it will go to that person.
Okay, perfect. I mean, I pull up my very near end of life scrap. How much does it look like it's got?
Probably 3 or 4 of your average length messages.
Okay. I got like 2 left on this one. So.
We could use this to drop a red herring, perhaps.
That is entirely possible.
Once it's empty.
Well, I think leaving the note here would be a better idea. I don't think they would write to their intended employer necessarily and tell them they were fucking off.
Yeah.
That's basically a death sentence. But if we did want to keep it and use it for ourselves in case, we could write to somebody and tell them where this is instead of having to use sending.
Yeah. Yeah, we could,
Do you want me to write it to the mayor? For
Yeah.
Suffield, or do you want me for Prower, or do you want me to do both?
Well,
I
we
think
could ask him. Who'd you take all this from?
Lots of different people.
Any a little bit more manifested? Would it be Sawfeld, Proward, somewhere further, Raygrove?
On the roads.
So
Which
between
one?
the two.
Between all of them. Towards Elmara too, sometimes.
Even beyond the Darklock?
Near it sometimes. Not too close to the towns usually. It's be stupid.
How'd you get across?
Go around. Takes longer, but it's more important not to stay on the road. Well, unless we're hitting something on it.
Did you guys keep any records? Establishments of where you went, what you got, inventory? Suppose people for you oftentimes would steal from off the top. Have much of that around here?
I don't know about records. Wouldn't surprise me if someone was taking more than they're supposed to. Zale and Nadia especially. They were in charge.
Zale?
The big, darker-skinned fellow with very big muscles. I assume he's dead now.
Nadia, I'm guessing, was the captain.
Mm.
Yeah. Alright, well, like I said, we can send it to both. At least let them know. And they may or should know both, like, all of us, so... Should be a reputable enough source.
Maddox was expecting this, so it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, we haven't been back in a while, so it might be good for them to know we're okay.
Yeah.
And I've written to him before, so that won't be as suspicious, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Precedent.
I'll go ahead and test it with the paper. With the one that we found. I'll just write. Found the bandit camp. Has a lot of loot. Might be bringing a prisoner. And sign with my name with the flourish.
Okay.
Let go.
It goes.
Sweet.
Similar to yours.
Alright.
So, I mean, you know how to, like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to put, like, it's not like a stamp, right? It's just...
No, it's... From what you think of it, and you have to think of who you're sending it to. If you don't have someone in mind when you do it, it just... goes. But you have to have an intended target. I guess it would be kind of like sending. You have to think of somebody.
When I cleared the tents, was there much in the realm of weaponry?
There was a tent with several extra weapons. Seemed like a very mini armory, but not much. Most of what they carried was carried on them and used in the fight.
How many daggers does Yasnip find?
Well, different motivation.
In the bag of holding inside out, just a river of daggers.
I'd look back to him again and, how many times did you resort to killing those you took from?
He looks down at the ground for several seconds and responds without looking up. Whenever they fought back.
More often than not?
No. Travelers in this part of Kathos don't really worry too much about things like that. Not many of them had guards, and not many of them were warriors. They were merchants and farmers, and most of the time didn't have to resort to killing. Zale usually bruise someone up, make sure they did what he wanted. But if somebody did resist, it was usually easy.
How often do you attack campsites in the middle of the night?
If it seemed like a lucrative take, I suppose. Not as often. People are usually watching out. But if it's lucrative enough.
Well,
How much money is in the pouches?
How much money is in the pouches?
You said there was sacks of coins, a sack of
Oh.
rings.
In the in the coin pouches from in the chest.
Yeah.
If you want to look through, you find 12 platinum and 252 gold.
that belongs to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also say, Yosnip, since you looked through all the tents, although you weren't looking for anything, I mean, you were specifically looking for more bandits, you did see other chests, and in one tent in particular, which is this one, what seemed to be some collections of sacks of coin. So you don't think this is everything money-wise, but by any means throughout the fort.
Anyone want to take a sweep with me and do a bit of an inventory?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm used to that.
I think after that we should probably get going, though.
Yeah.
Just so that we keep this timetable a bit tighter.
Yeah, we definitely
just-
don't want to stay.
Okay. Is it?
I'm
Well, I
not up
guess-
to you and take him with.
I'll watch him.
I meant a few of the carts. We have the horses.
We're already going at the speed of one cart, which we have to go back for.
So are we taking the bodies with us? We could just leave it out where we had the first fight.
I can light it up.
I feel like a cremation might be a respectful way. I don't want to just leave them somewhere,
Yeah.
but perhaps. a bit
Also,
further.
you know, big ass smokestack off the road. Something
Draw
to keep in mind.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did already do that.
We
That is
definitely
true.
Did already do that.
This
The
one's going to
second
be a
one's
bit
gonna
more
be-
persistent, though. A
Mm.
bit larger and quite a lot smellier. So,
This
Alright.
is not what I planned to do today.
it may be wise to just take them with us, and then once we get within town, we can take over there. We've got enough horses. We've got Luce, if she has to.
Is Brightwing still nearby?
Brightwing, did you leave the building when Faye did?
Yeah, I would have fallen down, but not like ghost around to be what was interested in the chest. Just
So you're near the stairs where the guy is,
Um,
or have you moved away?
probably moved away. That horse was injured, right?
Yeah.
There was a horse that was injured. It actually was the one way outside the gate, which you don't know if it is still there. The one that's up in the middle more, which is this little brown circle, is not injured.
There was. Oh. And then there was the one that I was on, which I probably would have drugged back in with me,
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah,
the guy.
Who's also fine.
Hmm.
I think Brightwing was probably naturally drawn to a horse, so she's probably standing by a horse and just kind of shrugging it.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple horses right in that vicinity, so yeah, she's right there, Eclipse.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really want to tote these people around.
No, I just figured get him out of, like, away from here. If we
Yeah.
were still going to try to sell the illusion of
That's
them
true.
having left quickly.
Okay.
I do still need to find some kind of sample of her handwriting in order to leave some kind of a note, which is most of my reason for.
I mean, her body's still out there. So,
We gotta go retrieve more. That's right.
okay,
We could split up.
a little bit. I'm gonna take care of that real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll head up.
Okay. Adwin and Eclipse going to get the bodies from the initial fight.
Yeah.
Faye, you're looking for handwriting throughout the rest of the camp.
And anything that seemed that I don't want. We're taking. I want to make sure the valuables. I want to ensure anything valuable gets back into the hands of someone else. So if
Mhm.
there's anything with any kind of significant monetary value, not necessarily like trade goods, but like
Mhm.
specific monetary value items, I would probably start making a pile of that stuff just to make, because I don't want to leave it. If like we're gonna leave
Yeah.
without knowing someone's here, I'd rather deliver that, and like the rest of the stuff can keep. But I want to make sure, like, you know what I mean.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
assist with that, but also look for anything with like a ledger.
Okay. One of you two roll an investigation check with advantage, or you can both roll one separately if you'd like.
All you.
Eclipse, did you say you tied the dogs off somewhere?
Currently? No.
They're just hanging?
They've just been hanging out.
Okay.
Where's Clerk?
Clert has you just now notice after being highly distracted by everything else that was going on, has established himself near the prisoner
Okay.
in a attemptedly threatening position, as if to keep watch, thinking that that's the best thing for him.
Okay.
But is heavily eyeing the dogs,
Okay.
who are intermittently staring and eyeing him and then looking to you. But if you're leaving, I would want to know if you're taking them or leaving them is the question.
I would probably still have them come with me because I don't want them causing trouble.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'll,
So you bring the dogs.
yeah.
Investigations checks being rolled. Brightwing, you're hanging out with the horse.
Mm.
Okay. What'd you guys roll? Or whoever of you rolled.
I got 22 with advantage.
Okay.
What was the investigation for again? Finding just
Looking
anything-
throughout, yeah, for valuables and for handwriting specifically.
And a ledger.
I'll say when I get to the captain, I'll specifically check her and see if she's got anything like a letter that she was gonna send or anything like that on her.
Okay. Yosnip and Faye, you end up rounding up a number of other chests and sacks of collected coin. If you want to at some point count them, I don't know if you do because, like Eclipse said, it's not yours and I think you tend to give it back, but you round up, and you could eyeball this roughly anyways, if you did not count it all, around 20 platinum, 800 gold, 900 silver, and about 250 copper pieces. Those are all your approximate eyeballs, unless you want to count. You find various bits of written notes in a few different places. Small things like, I wouldn't even call them journal entries, but just like notes of things that had happened or seen, or a place that somebody wanted to go back to, scattered throughout. It's difficult. There's nothing that says like, I am the captain and this is my handwriting.
Captain's log.
Yeah. And you don't find any sort of ledger. It does not seem they were super intent on keeping track of who they robbed, how much they robbed. but you do find various things. Eclipse and Aedwin, you get back up. Are you bringing a cart to load bodies into?
We'll get like a wheelbarrow, you know?
Okay.
If there's
Sure.
one around. To just
Yeah,
kinda-
there is. That's
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I rolled a 16 to double check.
6
triple
bodies
check
in a
right now.
wheelbarrow.
That's the name of my new book.
Beyond, well, actually, Faye had already checked over her.
Yeah.
You don't find anything else in terms of writing or notes or unique possessions. I will also say to Faye and Yasnip, you also probably find like a couple dozen pieces of jewelry that seem reasonably valuable, that if you wanted to take quote unquote the light valuables, it would fit into that category. Aedwin, you while loading up bodies, while Eclipse is checking the captain, you pick up the veteran, who you believe to be named Zale, and go to throw him in, and you notice his arms are bare. You notice a series of tattoos on his upper bicep.
Yeah.
Fists, but just the bones. So it looks like a fist, but just the bones of a fist. And there are quite a few, more than a dozen. You, with your background, would know this is a mob symbol for how many people someone has killed.
Yeah.
And that would stand out to you.
Fuck.
Shit. Yeah, this is bad.
What's up?
This guy right here, he's with the mob. Probably one of their agents coming out, keeping stock. Which is bad news for us, because that means...
Someone's gonna get even.
Yeah, so we really need to move.
Okay.
Let's not dilly-dally here. Let's get this done. We've got to dispose of these bodies somehow. They've got to just go missing.
Yeah.
Any trace of this, and there's going to be problems. So...
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
Incidentally, what is this guy's body count?
You want to count them?
I'd love to count them, yeah. I've got
17.
Fuck him.
I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
For that guy, I don't.
You guys start heading back. Faye and Yasnit, once you finish with your sort of, which would actually take a similar amount of time, so you're kind of finishing up as they're getting back, really, because there's a lot to inspect in all these tents. You sort of gather everything towards the center. You get a revision of the utter gore disaster that this place is. So I will just throw out to you, because of what you've said about how you want to leave this place, you would see that visually, and there has very clearly been a very messy battle here.
Cleaning details rough.
Sorry, did you just ask me something?
No, I just commented.
Okay.
Prestidigitation. It lasts an hour.
You want to try to clean up?
I want to play Jess's power washing game with prestidigitation.
Oh boy.
I'm glad I've imprinted at least a little bit on the server with just that one.
As best I can. Just like
Prestidigitation simulator. Let's fucking
Okay.
Just okay, like the big things, because there's some things that would happen if someone were to like try to move away quickly, like something being knocked over isn't a big deal. It's the
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah. Which there is a lot of. There are close to a dozen bodies that almost all of them have been bled out to some pretty significant degree. I would say that given the limitations of the spell, you can, to a degree, clean up like bloodstains on tents and the soil. It will take some time.
Yeah, I guess I'm mostly just trying to get it, like, I'm not as worried about the ground.
Okay.
That'll
like
do its own
splatters
thing.
on tents and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like pulling any like arrows out of the wood, or anything, any like physical signs of weaponry having been used.
Okay. I will carry over your investigation check from prior as far as finding remnants of the battle, and say that in roughly 15 to 20 minutes or so, you can deal with most of the major splatters on tents type situations. There are still like sections of grass where the soil and grass are soaked in blood that maybe you can hope some creature will come and largely clean up, but
It's 1 cubic foot per 6 seconds. So, I mean,
yeah, it's more about
if a tent is this okay. If a tent is this thin and it's a cubic foot, I mean, like how many of those? So it's like,
yeah, it's more about finding the areas, washing them off. You get most of the clear signs of anything.
Okay. And then I'll, like, as well as we're doing that, make sure the horses are all put together and ready to go.
Okay.
Where's the horse that I had?
I think you brought it in.
Yeah.
When you brought the guy in, I believed you had him in one hand and the horse in the other, basically, unless you left it outside.
No, I would have brought it in.
Okay. Yeah, so it's in there with you, near the one Brightwing is standing near. Which incidentally is this one. And then I will say, given the amount of investigating you guys have done, the one that ran outside and went through the thorns, you don't see anymore.
I know. I guess my thought process was to hook up a cart to the horses and run it over a couple of times down the main thoroughfare to try to churn the dirt up a little bit and like hide the blood in the road.
Sure, you can do that to a degree. I will say roll a survival
maybe
check.
On our way out, like, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Survival? Oh no.
Come on, city girl, you got this.
Come on, city girl. Let's go.
It's an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, city girl.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what works.
Anything else you guys want to do while here?
I go vacuum the grass.
So to be clear, have you loaded the wheelbarrow bodies into the other cart full of bodies?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
And you're hitching that up to a horse?
2 horses.
2.
Sure.
Man, that's gonna be a heavy cart, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a contingency, so it's okay. We'll figure it out.
There was 3
now, Bert.
There were 3 total horses in the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and 1 left, so we've got these 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How the horses looking, Matt? Are they looking like they could probably do this, or are they gonna have a little bit of a rough go?
No, you think that a horse could handle this. 2 horses could handle a cart, as they are typically meant to do, filled with a variety of supplies, which this is similar in weight to some degree.
Okay. Radical.
We'll walk next to the cart, perhaps. I still
Yeah.
need to figure out. Maybe they've never written her. Maybe they've always acted with the personal liaison.
Well,
I-
given the fact that they were directly interfacing with somebody from the mob who came here, yeah. I mean, it's highly possible that they just communicated in person.
What if I wrote it
Dude.
to her from the perspective of one of the minions? Like, hey boss, like the preparations for leaving are ready whenever you are, blah blah blah, something like that. I don't know. I'm that's not the wording of it, obviously, but
I'm gonna look at the guy we have.
Mm-hmm.
Why forge it when somebody could do it for you?
Right. But let's maybe take a moment to consider what exactly it is that we're doing, right? Like, what is the note that we're trying to leave them?
we were gonna try to make it look like they left on their own accord as opposed to having been viciously slaughtered by mercenaries.
So why would somebody in the same camp as their leader leave a note instead of just going and telling them?
That's a good point.
You know? So I don't think that's something that we're going to be looking for.
I think we just
Now-
have to go and hopefully everything gets out in time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to the other guy and kind of crouch down. How deep in are you guys with the mob, exactly?
I don't really know how deep the whole group was. I know Zale was from there. And I know both of them had made some sort of agreement or deal, but we didn't get all the details of it.
Okay.
Just know that they get most of what we take, and we all get either a payment of it or a removal of a payment owed.
So hear me out. It seems that the entirety of the camp was not that deeply integrated into the operation. How outlandish would it really have been if they just took the stuff and fucked off?
Yeah.
Left nothing behind, right?
Right.
As long as we leave no connection back to what happened here, I have they realistically shouldn't have any reason to believe this wasn't a mutiny, you know?
That makes sense. I'm good with that. I'm not good with this. She kind of gestures aggressively to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Alright then. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a clock.
We gotta go.
We've really got to go.
Alright. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Are you throwing the additional valuables, chests, etc., in with the bodies in the cart? Obviously not like straight up on top of them,
Right,
but
yeah.
they're in the same cart.
I'll carry it.
You will not be able to carry all of it. If you and Aedwin wanted to pull a wheelbarrow that was loaded with it, you could probably do that pretty easily, but you could not just like... There's several chests, and some of them are very heavy.
I can carry 240 pounds worth of stuff, and Eclipse
It's-
can for sure carry more.
It's more about the volume
The
that you're
cumbersome
trying to
stuff.
carry.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You can only carry one chest with 3 things, Sean. We went over this.
Yeah,
This is why
you're right,
you,
you're right,
you
you're
guys
right, you're
could
right.
pretty easily manage a wheelbarrow full of it. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
so much a weight problem.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
think we'll do that for now, and we can add it to our own cart once we get to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would make the most sense.
Okay. And Body's cart, is it straight up bunch of bodies in a pile?
It's organized.
Can we take
Okay.
one of the tents and like cut it down and put a
Yeah.
cover over it?
We're gonna tarp
Yeah,
it,
I mean, yeah, we
100%.
would have tarped it for sure.
Okay, that was kind of my
yeah.
question.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep
Perhaps-
assuming covered wagon every time we find a cart. So I'm just like,
Exactly.
oh.
Yeah.
In fairness, the picture on the map does show it that way.
That
but
would
it's-
probably be why my brain is like, it's
Yep.
covered already. Who
Yep.
cares? Yeah, we tarp it up.
Okay.
At some point, could I find Klurt and kind of pull him off to the side?
Yeah, he's been standing next to this guy, threateningly.
That's enough over there, Klurt. You ready for your next assignment?
Ah!
Here we
He
go.
brandishes
there
his
we go.
dagger.
I'll gesture him to come over a bit.
Still covered in blood, by the way.
hmm
I'm not changing that.
It's gonna get eaten
Alright.
by a bear, y'all.
I mean,
So, as promised, I have a payment for you. I'm gonna pull out 10 of my own gold.
Okay, as you're doing that, he pulls out his pouch
Oh,
and
okay.
jingles it.
Are you
Is-
satisfied with that?
Claire, make a persuasion check.
One man has more for Klurt.
If you want it. Otherwise, I could give you something else. Something more mysterious.
Fuck.
His eyes get, again, despite how large they already are, somehow bigger.
So,
listening.
would you like more gold?
No.
Or would you like what I have behind my hat?
Oh my god.
Is there anything behind your hand right now?
There's a non-rusty dagger behind my hat.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand check.
I have a new gift for you. It was that!
23.
Okay.
The secret is
Klurt-
nothing. Haha.
Klurt looks, eyes carefully, rolls a perception check. 2. It is actually wild how bad Klurt rolls. Like, it's funny, but it's wild. He just rolled a natural 3 minus 1, and his animal handling was a natural 2 minus 1. He eyeballs your hand. Klurt wants a mystery. And Klurt wants to be in the group. Is their name?
Oh shit. Alright guys, pull up the list. We
Yeah.
got some choices
We
to
got a
make.
list.
We haven't
Sorry.
discussed in the
Now?
game. No, it's not, because we have said nothing in the game actually about any of it.
Never said anything at all.
We've
ever.
been traveling together for a while. I'm sure we
God,
probably
that list is
talked
so
about it.
long!
We can have like a like on the way back from Raygrove in the woods
No.
one night. Like, so are we gonna keep doing this? We should have a name.
I mean, you were asked about a name by Rylus and
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
not come up
Yeah.
with one, so I would assume that the characters would have had discussions similar to what the players have had. I'm not saying you have to give Klurt a name right now, I'm just throwing this out there.
Unless we take a break and talk it out right now.
We could.
Is
Do you
that-
want to do that?
It's up to you guys.
Imagine it just cuts away. Just zooms back into the house.
Yeah.
I
Like,
have a name! I have a dream!
My mom just texted us and said that dinner is here, so
Oh,
could be
well,
probably
there you
time
go.
for a break.
So good time for a break.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
All right. We will
That's
take our
crazy.
break as
Blake?
Klurt. Yes, our Blake. As Klurt eyeballs his potential rewards over his involvement in this
Cliffhanger break.
successful. Yeah. And we will return. And since there's food to be acquired and things to be thought of, we'll make it a solid 9 minutes and 49 seconds.
Oh, I actually know where that is and I hate you.
Yep, that's
Oh
why I did
my
it.
God, you're the
That is my
worst.
area code.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's cool.
Wait, what did you say?
949.
949. Yeah, I recognize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the first 3 digits of Matt's phone number.
Well, careful before I dox myself like I
You'll have
did
to
last
subscribe
time.
to learn the other 7.
Oops.
The
Yep,
most
yep, yep.
important
Subscribe
7.
to the YouTube to get the other 7. You get 1 digit for every video you comment on. Alright, well, take our break. We'll see you in 9 minutes and 49 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
Ish. All right. Nothing has gone on behind the scenes in the 10 minutes since we went on break, guys.
20 minutes?
So,
It's true.
we pick up with Klurt asking Yasnip if there is a name and that he wants in to the group.
You see, Claire, this is the problem. You really like not being seen, don't you?
Yes.
And if you're with us, there's 2 really loud people in our group, and you're always going to be seen. But I'll give you a choice. You can have 2 of the 3. I'll be generous.
2 of the 3 what?
You can get the mystery gift, which is still just sitting here, and I'm like gesturing. It's still moving with it. The mystery gift, joining the group, or learning the name of the group.
Oh, you bastard!
But I have to assure you once more, I know you don't like being seen. That would take away one of your perfectly good capabilities. Plus, if you were to join us, I can't pay you anymore.
What if Klurt is secret member who does missions away from? And he points at the highly visible people. But
I think that's perfect.
and Klurt gets the name written on. And he looks at all his possessions, of which is very little, and holds up his new sack.
I think I know someone that could put a name on that.
So that Klurt belongs in group.
Tangentially.
Yes. He clearly does not understand what that meant, but is going along with it.
You have a deal. And I'm going to flail the dagger around and show, I think you've earned this.
Ah! He grabs it with his other hand, still keeps his rusty dagger.
And then I'm going to take I have a component pouch apparently that's just empty. I'm going to take that off and just kind of try to fashion it with him and put it around him almost like a little sling where he can put the daggers.
Ooh.
So he can have like a little sheath thing kind of going through the bag itself.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and roll a survival check just to see.
That's outstanding. 5.
Okay, well, it pretty much fits his general look and the quality of his situation, so it kind of blends in. It's very likely that daggers might fall out or accidentally poke him, but they would have done that regardless. So.
I'm gonna wait for Jess to get back for the last one.
He is ogling this. Is it a decent dagger? Is this one of your daggers?
It's a clean dagger. Yeah, it's one of the ones that I had from like my chest belt.
Okay, he's ogling it.
Oh yeah. As Eclipse is running off.
Sorry,
And
I have to make more
welcome,
lights.
tangentially, as an operative, to the Twilight Heralds.
Hell yes. Okay. He let me look. Okay, I don't know whether Adwin and Nas could read this off of him, but everyone else could. You see this look of like pure bliss in his eyes, like almost tearing up levels of this is the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life. Twilight Heralds.
Hmm.
You can write on pouch?
I can't, but I know somebody that might be able to.
Where?
I'm just gonna kind of like look over my shoulder at Faye.
He holds his pouch up towards you, Faye.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had pulled him away.
Yeah, I did. But we'll have to.
You see him hold up his pouch towards you. Right name! Which you guys have no clue has been announced to Clert.
Is it a C or a K?
His name, your name.
He looks up at Yasnib.
Just tell her neither of those are in it.
Neither of those are in it?
How do you? With a Q?
Yes!
Oh my god!
Cannon!
In the air, like
Cannon.
Ulert. No, like no.
No, just the Q, no you. Q, no you.
QLERT.
Oh my god!
Yep.
This is now the official canon spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we've gone back
That's
and
it.
forth over it so much.
Oh my gosh, all we're missing is a Y and an apostrophe, and it's truly a D&D name.
I could be an asshole. Oh, I could be the worst asshole.
I'll start to bring him back over. And well, I think we have our first retainer.
Retainer?
Well, I've asked him, and I'm going to ask him to do a bit more for us. Tangentially, of course. I'll look down to Clerk, kind of like for a nod of approval, using that word.
Tangentially.
He would like the group's name written on his sack.
Oh, we're doing this. Okay. Wow.
Yasnib.
Stop.
Yasnib. How long is he gonna be around after I do this? Are you gonna send him away immediately?
Well, he has a very important thing he has to do immediately. So once you're done, he'll be going. Yeah.
New mission.
Uh-huh.
Right away.
In my mind, I will come up with, and I will allow the artists to decide, because I am not it, a very nice filigreed, like a very flourished T and like written out in script. You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff. And I'm going to use prestidigitation to stamp it on the bag.
Oh no.
I can do that.
And I'm gonna look to him right away, like, all right, next thing that I need for you to do is I need you to find 2 individuals. One of them's made of metal, the other's a halfling.
Smart.
They've been going around with a cart saying that they've been moving mandrakes.
Made of metal?
Yes. And I will minor illusion exactly what they look like for him.
Okay.
Figure out where they are, where they're going, and if you can, as a true herald, who they're talking to.
Which direction?
Now, that's your job, isn't it?
Mm.
Not slacking already with the new position, right, Clert?
No! Just want clue.
Last time they were heading towards Proward.
That is clue. Will town not shoot Clert if he shows And he holds up the pouch with the stamp on it.
Matt, would I have even the vaguest idea if that would be a thing?
Yeah,
How's-
you
how's
would
a
know.
goblin set up with Proward?
So it's somewhere in between like standard goblins of D&D where they're just all evil things that must be slaughtered on sight, and like Exandrian goblins that are disliked but can exist happily in cities. They're more like they really should just keep to themselves, and if they try to make their way in without some serious know-how and promise of not slaughtering everyone, maybe we could talk to them in the town, but probably not let them live there. It's kind of that vibe.
If you go into the town, you'll have to be very sneaky. They may not be open to those of your kind. Or very persuasive. You do have coin. They do like coin.
Is he near us now?
The first time you yell, kill, it's not going to go good.
Oh. What should I yell instead? Clert!
Don't yell.
Just don't.
Clert.
You could try.
The Twilight Heralds.
You could start with hello.
Hello? Clert is ready! He brandishes both his daggers, which he still holds questionably.
I'll help his form a bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He is very attentive as you adjust.
But the secret of a dagger is that it's not seen until it's needed.
He stuffs them into the pouch that may or may not work too well. Clert is ready.
Well, on to it. You all set to go?
He scutters away, not saying goodbye to anyone because he doesn't know about those manners.
I'll lean over to Edwin and just say, "Don't worry, the symbol only lasts an hour."
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't actually notice that. Otherwise, I think it's your head on a pike next.
I
Well,
think I'll be alright.
whatever he can reach, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's get this unfortunate circumstance over with.
Stop it.
Okay. You guys hitch up the horses. Everything is loaded. Bodies are covered. Do you want to look for the third horse, or you're just going to head back towards your
We need
horses?
to get going.
Okay.
Is Brightwing in the camp now, or is she gone?
She's been in the camp.
Okay.
She was standing near a horse, then the horse was taken to get hitched up to a cart. So last we looked, she was standing in the middle of the camp on her own.
Are you ready, Brightwing?
I'm sorry. What?
Are you ready?
Oh yes, I don't want to be here anymore.
Alright. Let's get you out then.
Okay. You guys start heading back out. As you leave and start making your way back, you pass the little area where you had planned out and where Eclipse, the letter, fell in your lap, pretty much.
Is the doodle and everything still there? Or did I kick it? And like,
Up to you.
if I think I would have. But in case I didn't, I shuffle it around.
Sure. Okay. You guys make your way back to your horses, cart, and owlbear. Oh, what is up with the dogs?
Are they still following?
Well, I'm asking what you guys did. Did you just start walking out, not holding them, and hoping they would follow, or maybe not? Or does someone have them on a leash?
I think I would have probably given them like proper leashes by now.
Okay.
Instead of just the scraps of rope, so that they're actually like not the chain that they had before, just like actually rope, so it's less.
You could even find some leather that would be doable if you wanted to.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't want them to be as menacing as they were before, so.
Okay. And you're holding them?
Yep, that's me right now.
Okay. Eclipse is walking the two dogs, kicking over the previous plan. You guys make your way back.
Can I say as we like maybe halfway through or something, like they hit a bump and like a hand falls out from their bodies. And Brightwing sees it.
We tarped it pretty hard, but yeah, I mean, it's
kind of.
My Tetris skills are pretty fucking solid.
I mean,
and it's tarped. I mean,
but yeah,
yeah,
that's fair. Yeah.
At the very least, it's
the smell.
The tarp. Well, not quite yet the smell, but the tarp is beginning to be dark spotted in spots.
Okay. Did we actually talk? Yeah, like did we actually talk about what the plan was with this? Because I mean, like I said, we've got to dispose of these.
Yeah, quickly.
No, we can't just toss them into the woods and be done with it. I mean, they need to be gone.
Is there a open enough spot to let them burn that it's not going to catch everywhere?
If you wanted to make a pyre or a pile to burn and then walk away, you don't have great confidence that it would not burn the forest down.
Yeah.
If you stayed to tend the fire, which would take some time until everything went down, there's some spots where it should not burn the forest down, but the risk is there and not low.
Oh, hey, also, how many bandanas did we get?
Ooh.
I was not counting.
That part's important.
Said 13.
Oh, we also grabbed our prisoner. Holy cow. If we didn't specify that, we didn't just leave him there.
Oh, you did not specify that, but yeah, I assumed.
He's definitely coming with us. I'd say, if anything, he's sitting probably on the cart manacle.
How many days travel would it be from here to Proward?
He can deal with it.
It is 13. Not count. Well, no, you would take the one off the guy that's alive, so 14.
Yeah.
And Yasnip, roll a. I'll say a survival check.
3.
Somewhere between a few hours and 2 days. You're not entirely sure.
Okay.
This is not an area that you frequented necessarily.
Dude,
yes, to get to
that range is insanity.
It's a 3.
So
okay, how many days? It took us like 2.5 days to get from Proward to Sawfeld. And we've been traveling for a full day already, because we met Clark last night effectively, so we've got another like day and change, depending on our travel speed.
I'd say if we told Mayor Maddock who these individuals were, he could have them buried and then taken care of in Proward.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think that's probably the play. That's what I was suggesting earlier, too.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, his name.
the other real question is, what do we do in the meantime?
Oh, not that. I had a completely different thought.
Okay.
What if the mob is in Proward too?
Fuck.
That's part of Mayor Maddock's responsibility.
what if it's Mayor Maddock, right? I mean,
Why would he have conscripted us to remove his own agents?
They probably weren't doing their job, if that's the case. We're getting in the wrong path!
yeah.
Okay, the point is,
everything's getting complicated.
here's the immediate problem, right? If we're on the road, and, like, guards go by, realistically,
We have a
and we have
declaration.
this...
We've been told we were conscripted, and we were not told what to do with the bodies. So we are
Okay.
bringing them back as evidence that this job has been done.
At least that's a plan.
The bandanas are the evidence. What if we... I don't know if you guys have ever been anywhere kind of warm, but, like, have you ever... You ever seen, like, a smoked pig?
Mhm.
They light it on fire and put it underground and then cover it with earth with a hole at the top. We could dig a big hole, put the bodies in there, light them, leave a hole for some air, but they'll slowly...
That's gonna take a long
Cremate.
time.
But then we could leave it without fear of...
Burning everything down.
Probably been upon it 2-3 hours.
But if we took shifts doing it over the course of an evening...
Better than
think-
nothing.
Yeah.
Or just bury them. Like, if we're gonna dig a hole, we might as well just bury them.
We might as well
I
just
mean,
bury them.
even that's not that bad. Yeah.
We might as well just do that at this point.
Hey, Luce,
Mm.
you want to dig a hole? It's gonna be a lot of fun. You get to...
Stomps her claws on the ground. Also,
Uh-huh.
the dogs
Yeah.
are
I
like
am very far away from this situation.
they
I do
smell
not.
and see from a distance, and it is the opposite of the clerk situation.
Yeah,
They back up behind
not
you,
having that.
tails between their legs.
Alright. I'm keeping them away from her.
Okay.
Just more
So-
for her safety than theirs.
The animals outnumber us.
For my mind space on the picture of this, we have 2 carts, one with bodies, one with merchandise and chests, right?
You
Two
have
horses?
like
Yeah, basically.
a wheel, really small cart wheelbarrow type situation, which I guess Age when you'd be dragging alone because Eclipse has the dogs
Yes.
that has all the valuables. Yeah.
Okay. Small thing for the valuables. The big cart with the 2 horses attached to that have the bodies. Our
Mhm.
own cart.
But we can put the valuables on our
The
own
valuables
cart.
can go in our own cart.
That was what I
And
had
then
I think
imagined
that
would
was the
happen.
plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the
I
dogs,
just
maybe.
want to make sure
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
the wheelbarrow is not coming with us, but we will need to get rid of that somehow.
I mean, we could leave a wheelbarrow by the side of the road and someone will go, ooh, a wheelbarrow, and take it.
That's completely true.
It'll be filled with blood, but yeah. I mean, that's
It's
certainly...
fair.
No, there was
A
no
bloody
bodies. Oh,
wheelbarrow.
there was bodies.
Yep, there was bodies.
Otto used it to transport like 6 bodies.
How long does that take to burn? No point.
How long
We
does
do
it
need
take to
campfire
clean?
wood.
I mean, if you need kindling,
Oh
There you
my
go.
god! We start hacking that thing down. Let's
We
go.
could basically, I mean, we could pop the boards out and just leave a bottomless wheelbarrow.
Fuck it, that's what we do.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, throw them in the.
while
throw 'em
someone
in
is
the
digging
body.
a hole.
In the. Let's call it a hearse. I don't want to call it the body wagon.
Yep, it is a
We do be
hearse.
having a hearse. What's up?
And so are you
I
guys
would like
digging
to
a hole?
get some distance.
Yeah,
I
we need
think
distance.
it's
Off the
100%.
path of it.
midday now, afternoon.
If I recall, I think the plan is to get to camp and then dig the hole
Mm-hmm.
And then.
as the night shift happens, right?
Right.
And then we dip the fuck out.
For the
Okay.
record, it is late morning, getting close to midday right now.
Okay. Cool.
Oh.
It was like morning when you guys went to the camp.
But we were coming south. We left Lucy and our cart. We went down to the
Mhm.
camp. Now we need to go back up there and then on to, like we were off the road, but we weren't in a line with Proward. So we need to
Yeah.
like get back to Lucy and the cart in order to keep going. So are we,
This
like,
is
I
around
mean,
midday.
at this point, it's less suspicious to just take them with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The camp and the night shift to dig the hole is a good idea. I like that.
Mhm.
Let's stick with that.
Yeah.
Let's get moving.
Leah,
Okay.
you were mentioning something? Or you were gonna say something? No? Alright.
It was.
I don't know.
We're saying
Were you?
words, and then you got interrupted, and I was like, no!
Adwin, would you?
It's gone, whatever.
Alright, I just wanted to make sure.
Adwin, I don't think anyone would catch up to us coming behind us, but would you want to ride a bit ahead of us so that we could, and then with Lucy a bit ahead of us, that way if any other passers-by come along, we could take this cart and get her off the road?
Okay, yeah, that could happen.
Schmetz is riding out, and I look at Crater, and then I'm like, right, Lucy. It's like, wait.
Oh, that's right. Crater's not.
Crater's not attached to the cart in any way.
Oh, there's another horse. Oh, good.
Yep.
Yes! You guys have...
Five horses.
We have five
two dogs
horses.
and an owlbear.
Yep.
And me, no.
5 horses, 2 dogs, and an owlbear.
And a clerk.
And a
Clerk's
clerk.
gone. Clert is gone.
Clerk's
Clert's
gone.
not here.
The clerk is gone. You guys don't know
And
where
about
he is.
now, he's realized that patch is off of his
Yep.
couch, so we gotta
If he
go.
realizes.
Right.
Oh my god.
Y'all.
Okay, so you guys are moving from your original stopping spot
Yes,
and continuing until evening where you're going to set up camp?
correct.
Okay. All right. You get a ways further, set up camp, and now you're going to dig a hole.
Yep.
All right, Luce, get to work.
Yeah.
She just starts going. Sean, go ahead and roll an athletics check, we'll call it.
Okay,
Can
give
I
me 1
inspire
second.
Lucy?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I could look at the exact wording of Bardic Inspiration.
I think it's a creature.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
assume it
It
is.
is any creature.
So your bardic inspiration is a D8.
Yes.
Okay.
We see
A creature other than me.
Yep.
Luckily, your inspiration sort of saved the day. That'll be an 18 total.
Nice. Let's
Okay. All right.
The
Lucy
inspiration will just be like 2 pieces of turkey.
go.
snacks. Which the dogs start whining at in jealousy.
Dude,
Because-
they want for nothing. They will want for
okay.
literally nothing.
Okay. Lucy makes pretty relatively quick work. Is certainly better than a single person with a shovel, or probably even 2 people with a shovel could have done. And a ways later, has a decent-sized hole that could fit all the bodies and a few feet of dirt on top.
I will unload the
job,
bodies
go.
since
Good
Adwin
go.
loaded the bodies.
Okay.
Start cleaning the cart.
Yeah.
Okay. Prestidigitationing the cart.
Yeah, I realize that this may not be an all-at-once thing, but we've got another day or so.
Okay.
So if I needed to take time.
Are we going through with the burning them in the ground plan?
It's not a terrible idea, all things considered. I mean,
think
we might as well go ahead and do it if we wanted.
I
Wrap
think
them in the
if
canvas as
someone
well.
would... Sorry, what was that, Yasna?
If you wrap them in the canvas, it might help.
Mm. Well, then in case they're discovered accidentally, at least they would be unidentifiable.
That one.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kind of my. Someone's
All
gonna
right.
be like, "What the fuck?"
I'll get to work
Uh,
then.
Sean,
That's me!
do me a favor and roll a d20.
You whore!
Just then, the ivory guard walking by.
Yep, there it is.
We look like serial killers.
That's
Well,
gonna
man.
be a number 1, Matthew!
Oh,
a
boy.
number 1.
It's okay,
Okay.
he took the one from us.
It's still the same day, guys. I have like 2 spells left.
You, however, also have an additional bardic inspiration.
Oh,
I
the-
do!
Oh no.
I get back the one I used on Lucy.
Wow.
What the
Okay.
fuck check did I just make?
Whoa.
After
Ooh, what if it was like scrying?
after Lucy finishes
Dude.
and moves at Aedwin, she pads over to you, Faye, and like bumps against where you keep your jerky.
I will trade you for a kiss.
Owl bear kiss.
Aw.
takes a jerky, goes and does a small circle and lies down, eats the jerky, clearly relatively exhausted.
I'll set her,
Okay.
like, her hammock up. Or her, not hammock, her tent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Dogs on the other side of the camp, I assume. Okay. They are staying much closer to you, Eclipse, than they even were before, with this very confusing, threatening thing in their vicinity.
I too am confused at the situation.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Anybody want to do anything throughout the night?
I guess
I'm gonna-
just for like audience sake, Brightwing has probably has been in a tree during this entire time.
In a tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like knees to chest, just kind of like looking out, make sure no one's coming, but definitely deep in thought.
Okay. Do you want to take the first watch?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to join?
I would be up as well, facilitating the burning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I will say it is more of a monitoring that, so you can still make a perception check. So make a perception check, both of you. And Aedwin, you would note that when everyone else goes to bed, Brightwing is not there and is in a nearby tree, which I assume you would have
Gotcha.
all seen her go to.
Did we
Unless she's
put
trying to stealth
the
away.
dirt down and then the thing and like the way that Faye had described how to?
Yeah, I would have had her walk me through the whole process.
It's not hard. It's, yeah.
I'm also assuming you probably put this a little ways away from camp, so you're not like straight up
Yes.
smelling a barbecue
Correct.
during your sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, burning.
Yep.
Downwind.
It's not good.
Okay. Perception checks from you too.
23.
25.
Okay. Okay. Anything you guys want to do while the watch hours pass?
I'm down on the ground, keeping an eye out, watching the burn, make sure nothing goes crazy.
I think she's just like she can't sleep. So that's why
Okay.
she's up.
Okay. Your guys' watch passes few hours. Some age when you want to wake someone up. Brightwing does not come down from the tree, I assume. Okay.
Shit. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. And he walks over to Eclipse. Poke, poke, poke.
Yeah.
Rotating shift, but Brightwing has sort of had this like vacant stare off into the middle distance for probably the past 2 hours. And she doesn't seem keen on sleeping either, so just kind of, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Are the dogs asleep?
Yes.
I'm gonna leave them where they are.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the tree where Brightwing is and just lean against it and take my watch from there.
Okay. Brightwing, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I will now catch another unconscious person.
Fine.
There we go!
Oh no.
Wow, wow, wow. That was not good.
Nope.
That's not good.
Was that a 1?
No, it's a 2.
Okay.
Or a 4.
Okay. You mentally cannot fall asleep still, and that will be the case for as long as you want it to be for Brightwing. But the exhaustion is setting in physically, so you can make another perception check. Eclipse, you can also. Brightwing, yours will be at disadvantage, and you will have exhaustion unless you finish a long rest from now on. 1 point.
What is exhaustion movement? Before I make this commitment.
Disadvantage on your d20 rolls.
Okay, but this perception check is at advantage, so it's just a straight roll.
That would be correct.
Okay.
Because you're in nature.
21.
Okay.
15.
Okay. Anything you two would like to do on your watch?
I'm gonna like look up at her once in a while, see if she's kind of nodding off or anything. Just kind of.
I mean, with that low of a con save, but yeah, I would say so.
She's gonna stare off into the, making sure she's keeping an eye out, and just be like, "Hey."
Doesn't answer back.
We're definitely gonna have a chat. But staying up all night's not gonna make it any better.
I can't sleep.
Can I climb up the tree to sit next to her? Or across from her?
Yes. I will not even make you roll. Brightwing got up into it just fine. It's an easy tree to climb.
Okay.
The
I'll say
branch
it's-
sags a little bit, but
I'll say it's like if there's one next to her, at least so it's closer, so she doesn't have to like talk as much to get to her.
She's like Leah against the
trunk.
The trunk.
trunk.
Yep.
And like so she's like on a branch, but like
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the next one, so it's not the
Yeah,
same
you can
one.
find one
so it's just
nearby.
kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like now's not the best time, but you want to talk through it? Get it out of your head?
better than keeping it in, of course.
You can just talk. I'll listen.
I don't really know what to say other than life is it's strange, it changes, it grows, but we learn at home. The sort of change we made today, Jess is so finite. There's no coming back for it. Someone that takes it, and someone that is overcome by it. What we did today cannot be undone. And I understand why we did it, and I understand why we save her. But it does not change the shame I feel with it. Did I become a bad person today?
That's not for me to decide.
I'm a healer. Okay. I saved life. I've only taken it very recently with Jan. Never before. And I understand that those people were just like the ones that attacked us, the children and killed Seraph, but I don't like who I am right now, and I don't like how I'm feeling.
I'm not going to tell you that what we did was right. I'm not going to tell you what we did was justified. And I'm definitely not going to tell you how to handle what happened today. That is something you, as an adult, get to decide for yourself. Right now, what I am worried about is you falling out of this tree.
I live in a tree back home. I never fell out of it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm also not used to doing anything like we did today. Even if it looked that way.
Will we have to do that again?
God, I really hope not. I don't think it'll have to be anything like that. Some of those men probably didn't need to die the way that they did. Even if one of them believed they deserved it.
I don't know if I made up these stuff. You want to read them? I just can't get the fear that eyes on me. No one's ever been scared of me before.
Oh. We all have a purpose. You don't need people to be afraid of you. It's not your job.
don't want people to be. The healer can't heal if the person is too scared to come.
Like I said, it's not your job. You don't have to be a part of that. You don't have to participate in it either. And next time, if by some really unfortunate circumstance we come across something similar like this, we'll think of something else. I think all I could see was Seraph. And the way Vana was devastated. I didn't want to see anybody like again.
I told you fighting. I was scared of you. Revenge in your eyes.
I don't want to be like that all the time. But like I said, I don't want to see anybody crying on the side of the road because of scum like them.
Thank you.
Again, you do what you need to. If you can't sleep, we'll keep an eye on you in the morning. You do what you have to. And if you feel like you're not going to make it in the tree, just let somebody know, okay? We'll figure it out. I won't touch her or anything. I'll just, as soon as it feels like my watch is over, I'm gonna climb down and leave her to it.
Okay. Brightwing, do you stay up there?
I think she's doing that. She stays up probably a little while longer. Looking at the stars. But I don't know. I think she's probably gonna stay up there for a good bit.
Okay. Eclipse, you wake someone up?
Yeah, I'm gonna go wake up Yasnip.
Okay.
And I'm, like, as I'm waking him up, had a chat with Brightwing. She can't sleep. Today really rattled her, so, she's doing what she can, just trying to keep an eye on her. She said she's not gonna fall out of there. But, yeah.
Think she's best left alone for the night, then?
I think so, but I would just make sure she doesn't fall. That's really my only thing. She's really, really burnt out.
Understood.
We'll go try to sleep.
Okay. Yasnip, would you like to roll a perception check? Roll watch.
It's cocked.
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
Doing really good tonight.
Anything you would like to do, and or Brightwing, is there a point during this watch, which is basically getting towards dawn almost, that you are going to come down, or do you want to try to stay up there?
is the sunrise? Though
Probably
I
just
think-
tend the fire.
Okay.
I think pointedly, like maybe like halfway through your watch, Yasnip, you would just see every once in a while one of those helicopter seeds
Hmm.
kind of fly down. It's probably absolutely kind of bureaucratic where she is.
So eventually, one of the ones that you make doesn't move. All minor illusion, one just stalled in front of her.
Hmm.
Is this joke?
It'll shift and she'll just see a bunch of them form into a yes with a little smiley face, but they're made of those same seeds.
Hmm.
It's a good joke.
I'll fade out.
Okay. A few hours pass. The light of dawn begins to kiss the horizon. Brightwing, you are exhausted, but there have been times where your eyes have closed and then you've seen images behind them that you did not want to see, and so you've forced them back open. And the rest of the group begins to stir. Anything you guys want to do before heading out?
I'll check on Brightwing. She's still in the tree.
Array of helicopters.
Sweet. All right. Check on the status of the nonsense we're leaving behind.
Okay. It seems like any remnants of note are gone. I assume you would have Lucy kind of smash up the top to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Definitely looks like some ground has been disturbed in this area, but no particular sign of what it is, and it's a little ways off the road.
I'll look at the guy that's with us.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have called any of them friends?
No.
Anything closer than that?
He just shakes his head.
If you had any words you wanted to share before leaving, you can have that moment.
He takes several moments, mostly, again, still looking at the ground, not up making eye contact with you all. Looks at the direction of the grave. Shakes his head again.
All right.
So, are we taking the cart?
Well, the horses have cart tack, not saddles. So if we took the horses, we could take the horses. But
Did we clean up the cart enough?
it's
Faye with some dedicated
Crime-stinking.
prestidigitationing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also didn't take
prestidigitationing.
a wash, so I could have stayed up a little bit later and woken up early to do that.
Okay. If the
Yeah.
cart looks clean enough,
It does.
I mean, we could take it with us and drop it off with Dixie. She could take it as an extra
It's a good idea.
if she wants it. And I'll kind of gesture to the dogs and then gesture to the cart. Have them right in there. That way I don't have to walk the whole way. If that's
Okay.
alright with you guys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to treats gesture Puppos into the cart.
There's some treats.
Just
Yep.
lay down.
It's like, you get up there, I'm not picking you up.
They
I'll do it
hop
if they
in.
want me to, but like I'm not doing anything with them.
Okay.
I think they're athletic enough to jump up there.
Yes, they have no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Cart's loaded. Edwin on Lucy. Ahead. Who's driving each cart?
Take a cart.
I'll drive one.
Okay. Both of you guys roll animal handling. Brian, if you want to take the familiar horses, you could do it with advantage.
Leave it to me, I guess.
I'll do the challenge. I'll take the non-normal horses. 'Cause I've been
Okay.
rolling amazingly
That
tonight.
should go well.
Let's
Does
do it.
Brightwing sit in our cart? Just in it? Like, where is Brightwing right now?
What were the card options?
One
It's
cart is
our
being pulled by
traditional-
Antonio and Catherine and has the money chests and the dogs, I assume?
No, the dogs are in the other cart.
Okay, so
that
just
did
the
have
money
the
chests.
bodies.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then the other
on
cart.
the body cart, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was wondering.
Okay.
Oh god, so Yasnip's with the dogs! I'm sorry, buddy, I set you up for failure.
What'd you guys roll?
I got a dirty 20.
I feel like
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
Why are you this way?
That's the one, Matt.
I haven't even used any inspiration to regain it. I
Yeah.
should have.
Nope, it's a brand new day.
That's the one.
With
With a +0.
On the way.
Y'all's nipping animals.
Okay.
You can like load it up with 4 brand new animals too. It's
Mhm.
the worst.
It's not so much your fault as it is when the dogs hop up in there, they come up to the front
Oh,
and
no.
try to sniff you and find out if you have jerky. And the horses get a little spooked by that, and they're kind of being a problem.
No.
And it's a real slow side-to-side start to the morning.
Which I do, in fact, have jerky, so that makes it
Yep,
probably
they
even
smell
more
it.
difficult. Yeah.
Yep.
So do the horses.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It slows your travel a little bit.
That tracks.
Anything anyone wants to do during the day's travel?
I'm keeping eyes on any incoming traffic and will let the group know if and when said traffic is approaching.
Yeah. Throughout the time that you were traveling today, you do not see a single other horse or cart on the road.
Damn.
How far
Or
is
person.
it? How far is it from Broward to Ilmara?
Typically, if you're going by horse and cart, it would be something in the realm of 4 to 5 days, depending on how things go. Faster if you're just straight up horse riding.
Hmm.
You guys continue.
Hmm.
and what would have been maybe midday ends up being late afternoon, almost dusk, when you begin to see
Or Twilight?
Oh man.
nearly getting towards it. The farms on the outsteads of Proward.
How does
And
everything
you guys
look
have
from here?
returned. It looks pretty normal. You see people in their in the crops that are kind of wrapping up things for the day. And you guys make your way into town. Any particular place you're trying to go? Dixie's first to offload?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
These horses.
Yeah. You go to Dixie's.
I
There. Mm-hmm.
So we are returning Catherine and Antonia.
Correct.
We own and that cart.
That cart, yes.
For transport creatures, we as previous to this own Crater and Lucy.
Correct.
And no carts.
Correct.
So
Although we now have this cart.
We keep the horses in cart.
That we should
could
probably
keep
get
the
rid
Yeah,
of.
cart.
had bodies in it. Yay!
We should definitely get rid of this cart. I don't want this cart.
Do the carts look similar? Can we swap them?
They're
my
pretty similar. You might be able to
I'm
make
not-
a trade with Dixie.
I would
We
rather
just don't take that one back. We just take that one that way with our own horses, and we return Antonia. You know what I mean? Or I don't know.
I mean,
No,
she's
no.
gonna recognize the difference.
Yeah,
but-
I want to return what is rightfully hers, and if she wants to take the cart, she can have it, or we make it firewood. I am not taking this cart any further.
The VIN numbers don't match up. It's like you left with a 2004 Honda Civic, and you're trying to return with a 2005.
Yep.
There's VIN numbers on the inside of each wagon wheel.
Yep.
Shit.
I mean,
No, they're
hey,
win
if we're
numbers,
being
though.
realistic about it, guys, right? We have Crater, 2 horses, and Lucy. We just need one more thing, and we can all have our own, like,
Sean,
creature to ride.
I am Yaznip. I don't do well with animals.
Make a valid argument.
I do
No,
not.
Lucy
do well
I
likes
with
understand.
animals.
you.
But it's
Can't you
Counterpoint.
double up with Lucy?
Counterpoint. We get Yasna a
Really
bicycle.
double-
True.
Or just one of those little kid like the little kid
Yeah.
With the little
riders
basket
you
out
see
front.
about-
Yes.
No, like
Yes.
it looks like a little like an Airstream trailer kind of a thing, like those little mini
Oh,
made
yeah.
out of canvas that like hook up behind the bicycles. You
Yeah,
hook it up
that's the
behind the
winner.
horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy
just
shit, I
alright.
love this
I'll
plan.
ride side buggy. I'm cool with that.
I love this plan so much.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Do you
Yeah.
show up at Dixie's with 2 carts and all the horses? Let me
Yes.
ask that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
100%.
She's not outside, but there is a lamplight coming on from within the house,
Oh,
or at the building that forms the stables.
does it
and
seem
her
like
house.
sleeping hours or get off work
No,
hours?
It's get
Okay.
off work hours.
Okay. I'm gonna
Dusk is happening.
check where she usually would have been because I've come by and checked at night before we left. So I would kind of have a vague memory of where she would be at that time if she
Yeah.
was on the premises.
I would say you don't see her per se, but you get the sense that she would be in her house, which is connected to the stables.
Okay, so I'll go knock on her door then.
Okay. There's kind of a back door that faces towards the stable area, and
Yeah.
that's where you would probably go to.
Yeah, I'm
A
just
few seconds later, she opens.
sorry.
Y'all-
It's late.
Y'all are back.
Yeah, we have the cart and the horses. Those are fine. We might have some extra horses if you want them. And another cart. And 2 dogs.
She tilts her head, takes a few seconds. Well,
Okay, maybe not the other 2
Can I
horses
take a
now
look?
that I think about it. Yes. Go on.
all right. Give me a second. She steps
Okay.
behind the door, grabs a jacket, throws it on,
Okay.
steps outside with you,
Okay.
over to the group.
Meanwhile, I'm getting the prisoner away from the cart so that Dixie doesn't have to like deal with
While that exchange happened.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
assuming with Lucy as well.
Yes, I've got Lucy as well.
Okay, so you guys have
Oh,
you,
it's a new
Lucy.
city. Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy.
You, Lucy. I assume you, Lucy, and the prisoner kind of veered off before the main group entered the
Yes,
city.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And this town once shows back up with an owlbear and a dude in manacles.
Yep.
It's fine.
So the rest of you see Eclipse returning with Dixie. That is quite the collection you've got.
So I misspoke. We can keep the horses. You don't have to worry about them. But the other cart, I don't know if we're gonna need it. So.
All right. She kind of glances in at her area. I suppose I could buy it off you. I don't know how often I'd be able to rent it out, but
I mean, you can honestly just take it.
Just have it.
Yeah, we don't need money for it at
need a
all.
cot.
Cover stable costs maybe the next time we're in town.
That I'm fine with that.
you're
We
sure?
genuinely just don't need it. I'm gonna be honest.
Also, okay, so here's what happened. We borrowed your cart and horses. Took very good care of them. They were in Solfeld. We went on an adventure. They stayed in Solfeld. We have now
You know,
returned them.
Eclipse has said this in a similar way. I'm starting to get concerned.
No. We acquired this secondary cart and horses. We do not need the cart. However, we would like to keep these horses. However, we are going to stay in town for the night. May we leave these horses in your paddock for the night?
You want to keep which horses now?
The horses
The
that
two
we
on this
acquired
cart.
on these non-beautiful horses.
Understood. And
These
mine,
other horses.
you don't need anymore.
We don't need the cart.
We don't need the. I personally was curious. What it would take for you to part with that black horse?
And Catherine. The white one.
Both.
Just the. Well, okay. Two, Crater. Lucy.
I mean.
Well, the Antonio is one of the only horses who actually has a name. He's a strong lad, if you will. So he'd be a tough one to lose. The white one I rather knew. I would say 80 gold for Antonio, 60 for the white one, 150 if you want both.
I only have 80, you guys.
Okay, but
I don't have any money.
could we?
I don't use money.
We are considering this. Would you give us the night to think about it and talk about it?
Of
Seeing
course.
as that's a sum that we would have to discuss as a group.
And for what it's worth, I kind of forgot the fact that you were giving me a cart. I'm sure I could cut a little bit more off of that to compensate.
Okay. Regardless,
Talk
we've
in the
interrupted
morning,
your
maybe?
evening. Yeah, we've taken enough of your time.
Oh,
If,
no worries at all.
If you're comfortable, we could pack this stuff up. I'm sure you'd want to walk up with the horses and stuff, but we could deal with the
Did you
carts
want to
and stuff.
leave your cart with all that stuff in it here?
Well,
Oh,
that
you
needs to
could
go to the mayor.
Yeah.
Understood.
Mm.
Okay, so 2 empty carts, leaving all the horses here. And
Right.
we'll maybe cut a deal in the morning?
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds fine to me.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Dixie.
No problem. Good to see y'all back. It's
Thanks.
been a while.
It's good to be
Okay.
back.
What do
I'm
you guys
going
do?
to casually hold up a smaller pouch that I collected of all of the gold that was on the bodies. Not the gold that was in the not the gold that was in the
Mhm.
containers, but their
Yeah.
personal gold.
Yeah. Okay, as we're walking.
Blood money.
Oh,
But
I think we talk to Mayor Maddock. We see what
Yeah.
he has to say about it.
Yeah.
There may be a finder's fee.
I don't feel good taking any of that.
I don't
money.
either. However,
but
this
I
wouldn't
get
be the
what you're
first time
saying.
that we did not or something for him for free.
Yeah.
He might insist this time. We don't know.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, someone in here would remember, so I'm not going
The
to ask you all
bandanas.
to roll.
Yeah.
You
Do
had
it,
been
bandana.
offered a sum to.
Yeah.
I did
mean,
not
that's
write down the
fine.
sum.
I did not write down the sum.
I'm fine with that. It's just I don't. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna take the stuff to the mayor now. So.
Okay.
And the dogs. I take the dogs with
You
me.
still have the dogs. Okay.
What kind
All
of
right.
progress have I made, Matt?
Well, you're just standing off in the.
No, I was taking the prisoner to wherever he needs to be. My plan was to just go ahead and take care of that.
Like,
Where does
find
he
a
need to
guard.
be?
Mayor
I,
Maddox.
The
you tell me.
mayor.
Does he need to go to the mayor? Like, does he need to go to like the guard?
You're trying to
Like-
turn him in.
Yes.
Yeah, taking him to the city center, which is where the mayor would be and where like stocks would be, basically, or a prison,
Yeah.
would make
Gotcha.
the most sense.
Then that's where I've been heading.
Okay. On Lucy, I assume.
No. Well, I would have had to be with the prisoner, so I'd be off
Okay.
Lucy.
So,
right
but
next
Lucy's
to her.
walking next to you.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a lot of the same looks that she got in Sawfeld.
Perfect.
But can make your way there, and probably would get there actually a little bit earlier than the group.
Yeah.
Since they dealt a little bit with Dixie. Do you want to go inside with Lucy or with a prisoner or both or neither?
Lucy.
You see some guards out front, for what it's worth, and in fact,
perfect.
all of you
Yeah.
saw some guards posted around the town,
Hmm.
keeping watch, which was not the case during the festival when you were here originally.
Do they look like new additions, or do they look like
No.
the original guard that was here to begin with? They're
Yes.
just now. Okay.
Yep, they are city
Um,
sentinels who are not government or military from on a Kathian level. They are just like city police, basically, and they were here and helped with the fight with the Blightlings, but they weren't posted around keeping watch like they are now externally to
I-
the city.
Ask one of them if they would be interested in keeping the doggos.
You just want to go up to a random guy
I
of
just
one of
wanna
the
be
guards?
Go up to a
Hey.
cop and say, hey, do you need a guard dog?
Yeah, kind of just like, hey, do you think this would be something that your captain would want to hear about, or just
Okay.
kind of? I've talked to that guy before too, so like that's not
The captain?
that far out. Yeah, like
You
I
have talked to the captain.
yeah. So just,
Okay. All right. I will say that the amount after Aedwin arrives that you guys arrive is short enough that you can all talk to them at once. So you see two guards posted out the front of the city center, a human and a half-elf.
Okay.
You guys approach.
Yeah.
With dogs.
with
And
the
a prisoner.
doggos. And a prisoner.
You all are the group who helped with that attack a couple weeks back.
That'd be us.
Good to see you all in one piece. You looking for the mayor or the captain?
Both.
Both. Yeah, both is good.
Yeah.
All right. Looks at the half elf. This is the human. The half elf heads inside. You guys wait a few minutes.
Give Lucy some jerky.
I give the
He
dogs some
is
jerky.
eyeing Lucy heavily, but not saying anything because you guys carry a significant reputation and respect here right now.
I know.
Eventually, both figures return. Captain Mackie Langdon, who is a rabbit folk, white, brown, black,
I forgot
splotched
he's a
fur,
rabbit folk, rip this man.
and Mayor Maddock, Ardkel, handlebar mustache. He speaks up first. Well, it is good to see you all safe and back.
Did you get my note?
And I did.
Perfect.
What is that? Points at Lucy.
Gestures to Adrian.
This is Lucy. She's very nice and very friendly. And she can also understand what you're saying, so try not to be too mean to her.
Right.
Say hi, Lucy. Yes.
All right. Well, I would say I'm surprised, but there's been a lot of strange lately, so I suppose I'm not.
Well, luckily, we're about to make things a whole lot easier for you. And I pushed the prisoner forward. Took care of that group of bandits. There's one of them.
Lead. Well, a whole group of them. How many?
14.
Holds up the
No,
bandanas.
pull out the bandanas. Yeah.
Did you find stores?
Yes.
A multitude. Still back at the camp. We wanted to rendezvous here and then get people moving out in the morning.
We brought, and I'll gesture to the pile of loot
Yep.
behind. We brought anything,
Immediately
That's-
valuable.
that seemed more valuable, the keepsakes and the like. I don't know how easy it will be to reconnect them with the people that they came from, but
Do you know where all they took them from?
The general area.
But he might be able to tell you more. If he hasn't told us already.
What's your name, son? And your prisoner? Edmund. They called me Cork. Alright, you want to take him? And gestures or nods over to Captain Langdon. Yep. We'll put him in the cell for now. Comes up and reaches to take like his shoulder if you guys let him go. Or someone pushed him forward, right?
can we... Yes, also, could we swap... I mean, those eclipses, do we need those medicals?
I mean, we can swap them out. I would like to have them back. We might need them for a Blightling in the future.
No problem.
If we find
Can I get him to you in the morning? I'd like to
Yeah.
get him down there.
Absolutely.
Safe and secure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Appreciate it. Captain Langdon heads inside with the Edmund, apparently.
While he's walking away, I'm just like, do you guys need guard dogs by any chance? Kind of gestures to the two, still munching on the jerky. The bandits had these, and we didn't think it was right to punish them for something out of their control.
You know,
Please say yes. Please.
oh, that hovered.
Or anybody who would need them. They kind of just followed me. They don't know what to do on their own. And we can't
They're
take them.
We can't
I
take
could-
them.
I could take one. Two might be a little overkill. So you wanna
They're
ask
really,
around
they're
in
really,
town.
they're really good dogs, though. I mean, we're not going to be in the area for very long.
It's also
I-
highly possible that they are related.
I think they're bonded. Like, I don't know that we could.
Maybe
part
a
them.
farmer could use them.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
You wouldn't want to separate siblings, right?
They like jerky.
Eclipse, since you're heading this, roll a persuasion check with advantage given the piping in from the other.
Fuck.
I was trying to swing it
Oh
after.
god, it's really bad, guys.
One's name is Jerky, the other one's meat.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
For what, a 3?
Was it persuasion?
Yeah.
Oh god, a 19 total.
Oh my gosh! Amazing.
Wow.
I wasn't
Captain
trying to step on you. I
Langdon.
was trying to like.
No, you're right.
Captain Langdon kind of sighs. I mean, at the very least, I think we could take him off your hands, and if the guard can't find use for both of them, we'll find homes somewhere in the city, I suppose.
I appreciate it. Again, they're relatively great. They haven't done anything. They've just been hanging out.
All right. And he gestures to one of the guards standing at the door. Yes.
Captain, we have recently employed a small goblin.
Oh my god! How many bombshells
I'm
are we
sorry. What?
I did not think we were gonna pull this card already, but here we are.
He's harmless. He's not very bright. We have given him a very a task, if you will. And he's searching for something for us, and he implied that he would be interested in approaching one of the towns to ask about his search. I would just like to humbly request that he not be fired at upon sight.
Do you have any identifying marks?
I will minor illusion exactly what he looked like the last time I saw him.
Gosh.
The blood.
Unbelievable.
Mine are
Yeah, with the blood or no blood?
We'll do it sans blood.
Okay, sans blood. Big chunk out of one ear. All right.
Also, even if you see him, if he doesn't approach you, I'm sure he would love it if you acted as if you didn't see him. If he's trying to be sneaky, just let him do his thing.
He's quite harmless, I assure you. He's really just not very good at anything, but he's a kind soul and he wants purpose.
You all are an odd bunch.
Thank
It's
you.
been a really odd couple weeks, if I'm gonna be honest.
All right. Take a look at. He gestures to the two guards that and try to remember it, and then you take these two. I guess put them in another cell as a kennel for now. We'll
Can
figure
I
something out in the
give
morning.
them my bag of the share of jerky just for them to?
Okay.
Because I haven't noticed any like dietary issues with it or anything. Just boom, here you go. They don't
Okay.
hate this.
This is the food they've been on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice per day, and it's
Yeah.
got to be this many pieces. He walks up, takes the leather leashes and the
Yeah.
bag of jerky.
I'm sure they eat normal
Nods.
food, but they've just been.
Heads inside. The two dogs initially kind of don't go and
Oh no!
sniff at you.
Oh, no! My heart hurts, but we
But-
cannot take them with
Mm.
us.
Mm-mm.
Eventually, after a couple tugs,
I
they
already
follow.
have one giant dog to take care of.
Captain Langdon. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out, I guess. Try not to shoot your goblin employee. What
Thank
a
you.
week. And heads inside with the prisoner.
You telling me?
Mayor Maddock, after watching them go inside, I don't know if y'all are planning on heading to bed or anything, but I did want to impart the report of what happened with the Blatlings returning. I mentioned it to someone in the message, I think.
Yeah,
Do you have a moment?
yeah, absolutely.
We could
Where-
probably
where-
whip up some food inside if you want.
Yes,
That
please.
was- yes.
Please.
Alright.
I'll help carry some of the loot in too, so it's not just sitting in the middle of the fucking
Yeah,
street.
yeah, we can all.
Okay. Takes you guys inside, sits you down. Someone acquires an ale for everyone that wants it, or a tea for those who don't. And then eventually a meal is brought out. Seems like some venison. Mmm. some fresh, very fresh vegetables, which are quite nice. And once everything is kind of gathered, it's hard to explain this, and I've tried to do it now a few times and it hasn't gotten any more sensible. Maybe a few days after y'all left, wasn't more than a week for sure. A storm came through. It was real sudden and kind of unusual from the outset. Very strong winds, hail for a little bit, which is unusual, especially for this time of year. Came on unexpectedly quick, but as townsfolk were running to get back into houses, take shelter, there's been maybe a dozen reports, all very similar, and Captain Langdon saw one himself. Those creatures just getting pummeled, dashed against walls. A few, well, you remember they were invisible initially. We couldn't see them. A couple people say they saw shards of ice just strike out from the ground. The forms of the creature impaled on them, and then they dissolved away like they did before. We didn't see any of them before the storm hit, and we didn't see anything afterwards. Everything melted away in the way they do.
Nice. And
the storm ended minutes later. I asked, Mother Mia has been asking, praying, whatever it is she does, trying to find out and answer what it was. No explanation, really. It was baffling and unusual. And on top of that, if all that wasn't enough, there was no damage to the crops, and there was very little damage to anything in town. A couple broken fences from where one of those creatures was dashed into it. But for the ferocity of the storm and the hail and the ice that was striking these things down, it makes no sense why more wasn't damaged. Wasn't more than a few minutes. And everything faded. We haven't seen anything like it since. Haven't seen another sign of them. We doubled the watch for another week or two, but nothing.
Did anybody new come around when that happened?
No, not that I know of. I didn't see everybody. Probably a hop crosses would be the best task on that. Most people take the ferry out or in.
Have I heard of weather like this before?
Have I heard of magic like this before?
Brightwing, roll a nature check. Eclipse, you can go ahead and roll an Arcana check if you want.
Have I heard a story of anything like this before?
You can roll a history check.
Alright, time to pull information out of my ass. Let's go.
Anybody else want to think of another check that's different
Nope, it's
from
really
the first
bad.
three?
Just kidding. We're gonna put that away. Nope.
9.
9.
9.
With disadvantage, 10.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt, I would like to make an intimidation check.
On the sky!
Do it again!
Fuck you, Scott! What did you get, Brightwing?
With disadvantage of 10.
Okay. In the rapid, short-lived nature of it, and the highly, it seems, pinpointed nature of it, none of you can think of anything that fits this exact story. Eclipse, you've definitely heard of spells that do massive area of effect damage with this kind of storm energy, but it would not be so pinpointed. Faye, you've, I'm sure, heard many stories, especially from sailors, of horrific storms that were violent and killed animals that were caught not under shelter. But again, this quick in and out and pinpointed like that, nothing. And Brightwing, pretty similar.
It was helpful, though, right? Like the outcome was positive.
I mean, I don't know what would have happened without it. It's setting up the watch the way we have is almost a gesture more than it is anything, because you can't see those things until they're already on somebody, from our experience. So these things were all within the town before we even knew about it, and then the storm hit and they were all wiped out. And I mean, even if crops had been destroyed, I think the people of this town would have been grateful for that storm. But the fact that it was almost directed, it seems, the way that it was, we don't know. Don't know what it was, don't know why it happened. Yes, we're grateful for it. Maybe it scared them off from returning, too. It's been now a few weeks without another incursion. Just wanted to get that on the table. Don't know if y'all have any thoughts, ideas, but...
Well, if it puts you a little more at ease, we did find some semblance of a source while we were out and dealt with it. I don't know if it's the permanent cause, but it might help sustain the area a bit.
He raises his tankard sort of just towards you. Well done, I suppose. I appreciate it. And if you don't mind hanging around for dinner, I'd like to hear the story. And that's where we'll leave session 28.
Fuck.
Woo!
Oh my god.
Wow,
We have a
wow.
name!
Wow. We have a name.
We did it, guys.
The
It took us
freaking Twilight Heralds, though.
28 sessions, but
Yep.
our party has a name.
Yep.
Looks at other campaigns.
Looks at Cerestia.
Looks at all marketing tools.
Bro, you never gave us an ultimatum.
Yeah,
No,
I never.
didn't. I did it this time. It was a freaking goblin.
No.
Oh.
No,
I legitimately thought it was
The
going to be
ultimatum
a
is
throwaway
approaching.
that you guys would be like, nah.
No.
It didn't come back up.
So
It was the monk, and we were
Sean,
just like,
put that
"Ah."
away. Put that away.
I guess the question would be, do we want to say what our 3 suggestions were?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's hear the other ones, and then
Okay.
favorite moments.
Okay. So
Whoever suggested the name can say it.
I didn't suggest any of these, so
I did not suggest any of them either.
The top one was
Okay.
mine.
Okay. And
So-
was...
We were toying for a while with the idea of like the nightlights or something like that, and we didn't like that exact phrase, so we started going like, what else do we have? And then we were like, night is noctis and like this and that, and so we had said Lux Noctis as a name, and then we were like, ooh, that feels like Vox Machina. Like, we were like, I like it, but it feels yeah.
it felt
So
very
it's like,
similar.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a contender from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
was-
one was
it wa-
pretty high.
It was one that we liked a lot, but we didn't want to piggyback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the name that was landed on.
Yeah.
We'll
we
see what
have-
everyone else who watches thinks when we put up the names in places.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that I lobbied for the Dawn Protector Brigade so that we could be DPB, but
Yeah.
unfortunately it was not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
And then
And
the last
then-
one.
I think I came up with that one.
Yeah, you had the third one.
Yeah.
Don't remember. Black Spain.
Hmm.
That would have been really good.
That was. I assumed that was the one you guys were talking about when you were like, "That's what we've done for a little bit, but it's not necessarily going to be our whole identity."
Yes.
Something. Yeah, I figured it was something like that when you were saying that.
Yeah.
All right, Twilight Herald's favorite moments.
The name.
The name.
The name. Boy. I like threatening to take the guy's legs away. That was fun.
Yeah.
You mean his
that was pretty
arms?
good.
That was
'Cause
good.
you gave him his legs.
Oh, true.
You just passively didn't mention his arms.
Yeah.
You get to keep your legs, and we were all like,
I've already had it done.
Yeah. I liked Brightwing's staying in character about the entire situation.
Mhm.
Because that was an incredibly brutal thing that we did.
Mhm.
Even if the intention was not just to be a fucking murder hobo party.
Mhm.
So that felt right. That at least one of us was like, Jesus Christ. Even if the rest of us weren't like visually having that moment, at least one of us was having that moment.
Yeah.
It tracks.
Well, and I think it's. I will pop in on that. Not saying it's my favorite moment, but just to add to that, I think that the perspective that came out through some conversation from Brightwing that she understands the degree to which it was maybe necessary or justified, but she still feels really bad about it and can't shirk that. And that's what I think separates like murder hoboing
Yes.
from what happened.
Exactly.
Because all of you had like very strong convictions about why these people could not be left alive in their entirety, and some of those may have been confirmed or exacerbated through, watching and then afterwards. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you slaughtered 13 people,
Yes.
and to someone without a very strong mental constitution with regard to that kind of stuff, it would definitely be impactful, and that was cool to see. So yeah, I thought that was all well handled in general.
I think my reaction to it was different, and it was more of like the stand back and observe the reactions part of it, and see kind of like in my own mind, I guess. I don't know how it, you don't know how it's portrayed until you watch it back, but like I was interested to watch how everyone else reacted to things and what their first move was. In the face of something that was like, we had a time crunch, we had an emotionally charged moment, and then we were, also trying to like just seeing what tasks people took for themselves was kind of fun to see, and like where the priorities were and what, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to see what people do, like almost like in an emergency.
Yeah. Leah?
I mean, I always enjoy when I can current IQ. It's really fun.
Acting!
It's really fun. But I mean, that I was very strong on Brightwing's stance from like right after the thing happens, and so it was great to play that out. But I also I kind of did a little research in between this session with my own kind of stuff with how, people with law enforcement or the military, how they handle, taking out targets and stuff like that, and legally, especially law enforcement, if they do kill someone on site, they are legally obligated to take time off and to have counsel. Because taking life, it takes a toll on you, and it's not a natural thing to do for any of the human states. So for someone that does not have that training, Brightwing, again, she's a healer. She's only taken life honestly with the group. She's never done it before with her people or anything, so this is new for her. And she wrestled with it back then with the fight, but Seraph dying and then them leaving was a big distraction from that guilt, but it really kind of turned it back on its head with this one, because again, they weren't attacked, they were the ones that attacked, and so that was what really shook her and shook her morality, and her asking, am I a good person now? So.
Yeah. My favorite moment is pretty much the name, but specifically the fact that Clert in general is very enjoyable for me, but the fact that Clert was the one who obtained the name for this group will live in infamy until the end of this campaign and beyond.
Yeah.
I love this goblin.
That was quite funny.
So much.
Can't stand it.
Mm-mm.
But you're here anyway.
All right. Great stuff, Twilight Heralds. We will pick up next week, session 29, potentially continuing the journey south. Adios.
Get back to the lab.
Oh, that wasn't even addressed or mentioned. Yeah. Okay, bye.